June 3rd, 2017. Where are you going to be? Hopefully San Francisco, California, partying with your favorite boys. Kindafunny.com/KFL3. Get your tickets now. There'll be girls there too. Don't worry.
You know what moms love? Food. You know what you love? Food. Why not make some food with Blue Apron, best friend? I wrote this ad. For less than $10 per person per meal, Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes along with pre-portioned ingredients to make delicious, home-cooked meals. Choose from a variety of new recipes each week or let Blue Apron's culinary team surprise you. Recipes are not repeated within a year, so you'll never get bored. What's cooking in May? Glad you asked, Patreon supporter James Hastings. Beef teriyaki stir fry with sugar snap peas and lime rice, baked spinach and egg flatbread with sauteed asparagus and lemon aioli. Sounds good. 3 cheese baby broccoli strawberry with tomato and oregano dipping sauce. Nom 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 nom. Crispy salmon and roasted potato salad with pickled mustard seeds and some kind of sauce I can't pronounce. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Greggy. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so don't wait. That's blueapron.com/Greggy. What else are you going to eat? A shoe? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Over Greggy Show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer. He's an injured little dove
from a fragile
fallen
baby.
angel.
Nick Scarpino.
You know, they say...
You blew out your back,
yeah.
bench pressing a car.
Nope.
Sean Pitts threw you in a judo hold, and there you crumpled like
Nope.
That's what he says. That's what he's been saying.
It was the culmination of a lot of weeks of hard workouts, not stretching enough, not taking care of my body.
Yeah.
I felt it coming for a while. Literally, I felt it in Texas when we were in Austin. I was like, I can't really lean down right now. And when I lift my suitcase up, it's really hurting my lower back. And also, I've just been hella dehydrating myself by having a lot of
There it
caffeine.
is. Crack it.
Yeah.
Red Bull's nothing more
There it is.
hydrating than a sugar-free Red Bull.
I think the Trenti iced coffee may have been where I started the misstep.
I've been off the Trenta iced coffee for a long time. It's Trenta, by the way. The Trenta iced coffee.
Sorry, my bad.
I've been off that for a while. And then, Texas, we had to bring it back. And
Had to bring it back.
We dropped those things. It was so hot. And we just needed
Why didn't you drink
something.
water?
I get a Trenta ice
plebeian?
waters every once in a while, but it's like, it was real early for some of the shoots. We got to get our juices flowing.
Get that
and all
energy
that.
up. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. But Nick, you're missing a key point here.
By the way, that's the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Yes, and I'm dying as well.
Hashtag let him host.
You said that it was from sitting wrong for too long.
So yeah,
that
so
caused this.
what happens is like when my legs are super tight, you're supposed to stretch. I have to roll out. I'm supposed to do. I have this whole regimen of things that I'm supposed to do. But instead of doing that, I sit on my couch with my legs up on my ottoman, no support of my lower back for like 3 days straight, and just watch TV. And then inevitably, what happens is my legs, when my lower back is strained like that, it strains it more, and then boom, it goes into spasm, which it did halfway through the ride here on Monday. So I got my Trent iced coffee. I'm like feeling good, feeling fantastic. Sucked half that thing down, and midway through the drive, I literally felt the right side of my lower back go like this, just fist up, like just tighten up on me. And I'm like, that's not good. And then I got out of my car, and I'm like, I feel okay. I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit. Picked up my backpack, which I think had a book in it that Danny had given me. I've been reading. Danny from.
Ow, Jesus.
What's
Danny Mac from Heel Kick.
Thank
Heel
you.
Kick movie.
And I'm like,
funny
well,
that
that's
too.
a little heavy. And I slung it over my shoulder, and then my back just went out.
Ugh.
And it went out. And when I say it went out, it means the pain was so powerful that it crumpled me. And there was a woman that walked by me that looked over and was so scared that she just kept walking. And I was like, how? Like, I was like literally reaching out to this woman.
like, there's
and she was
nothing
like,
I can do for you.
It's a sunny day. I don't understand. This is not registering. I don't know why this
You
is
didn't
happening.
really reach out for
No,
her.
I didn't reach out for it. But actually, it happened on the curb. As I was walking, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get over to the curb. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna take this step by step. Because for some reason I had it in my brain that I had to get there to do the morning show.
I mean, you're a
I didn't wanna
doctor
let you down.
doing surgery here. Kind of funny.
Exactly.
You got to get in here.
We're curing cancer here. And literally, I was like, I took one step to cross when the light turned green and the walk signal popped up, and I'm like, okay, oh, and I started. The pain hit my lower back so hard that it was like either stand up or just literally do the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator thing where I just went down to one knee and like put my fist on the ground. And I did that as a woman walked by me, and I looked up at her and I locked eyes with her, and she looked down at me and just kept walking. Like, it was
"What the
kind
fuck,
of
man?"
fear and sadness in her eyes.
I
and
would have
just
had
was like, just keep
for me. That
walking.
would have been a bit of anticipation of like, is he about to fly like Superman? Like, is this? Am I about to
this it?
see one of the first, the first metas in the world come to life?
Superman was a very deliberate thing, though. Mine was a slow crumble to like my body's giving in on me, and it's happened before. The first time it ever happened, the injury gets spiked up because I had an old injury from when I tried dirt biking for the first and only time in my entire life, and hurt myself very significantly to the point where had to go to the emergency room on that
Jesus.
one. Pulled a back muscle pretty severely on that, and so now ever since then it gets aggravated once every like 6 months when I'm not stretching enough, not taking care of myself. This was by far the worst though. Like I was telling you guys earlier, on Monday and Tuesday I could not physically stand up straight. So I had to, like, my wife came home and looked at me, and I was like, she's like, "What's going on with you?" And I'm like, there is a reason why I'm on all fours halfway to the bathroom. Like I was literally halfway to the bathroom on all fours, and I just looked up at her, and she looked at me, and I was like, this must be what Portillo feels like. And she just was like, oh man, you got to start taking care of yourself. So she took care of me for the last couple of days, which is nice. But the thing is, when I'm sick, I don't know if you guys do this or not, all bets are off. When I'm sick, I'm like, I want what I want right now.
Oh, sure.
You bring it to me, and I'm eating it. I had 4 bags of goldfish. I had some Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I had some Oreos. I had a burrito. That's right. Not a burrito in a bowl, Tim. An actual burrito wrapped.
You had carbs?
Oh, I had carbs.
Oh my God.
That's
I
how you
don't
knew you were
believe
sick.
it.
That's how you knew you were
She
sick.
got
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
I'm sick too. It's bad.
Yeah.
Like I got a cold, and I'm only here because like we got to make content. I'm not going to miss this episode of this show. Had to be here for it.
You're not like super sick though. You just have like a frog in your throat. Is it going down?
It's pretty bad.
God damn
It's
it.
pretty bad. I've never sneezed that it hurt me.
Move your liquids away from him. Move your liquids away from him.
It sucks. It keeps happening.
It's great though. It's right. It's right as I'm starting to feel better. I'll come
Ruin
in.
Kevin
and
Jackson.
Yeah, no, I know. I should not be here. It's bad, but I've been dealing with that, and you're right. All bets are off. Our upstairs neighbors. We came home a couple days ago, and there was just like this little bag attached to our doorknob. I'm like, oh God, what
Jesus
is?
God.
What is
It's all
this?
the dog poop.
And it was oh my Lord.
Like he found you. You don't know how, but he found you.
It was a bottle of wine, thing of earplugs, and I was like, where the fuck is this going?
Yeah.
And one of those boxes of I don't know the name of it, but it's the chocolate, the really good chocolate. There's like the balls that are wrapped in
Seas
the
candy.
gold.
Oh, like lint.
The
Ferrero.
Rajaj or whatever
yeah.
the hell.
Ferrero Rocher.
That's it.
Remember
She
when we were
nailed
in the
it.
Uber that had that?
Yes.
That was awesome.
That's
That Uber.
that's a classy Uber move.
I ate a lot of them. I was drunk.
Anyway, Gia came home last night and was like, "Did you eat half of the Rajaj?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did. I'm sick.
Oh,
There's no
God.
fucking
Wait, what?
ways."
No, what? Why was this on the
Oh,
door?
they got a puppy, and they're like, "Hey, we got a puppy. If it's
That's really
it's
nice.
all Yelpy and shit, sorry."
That's very sweet. That's very,
I'm
very
like, yeah,
sweet.
cool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it
okay.
was good for them.
That's awesome.
And rounding out the group, for the first time ever,
No, second.
my wife,
Oh.
I've never gotten to say that on the show, Genevieve Miller.
Saint-Onge.
No, you say it. It doesn't. She didn't hyphenate. She had no middle name. For years, she had said it feels like I don't have a soul, and it was because she didn't have a middle name. And now she has a middle name, which is her
Very
old last
un-American
name.
of you.
Exactly.
To have a middle name.
Genevieve Saint-Onge Miller.
Now, here's my question for you two.
Yeah.
I'll be the interviewer. You be the interviewer.
Yeah, please be active in these entire topics that happen.
Please
You can't
be
just
excited.
sit. Don't be that thing where you sit there. That's why you had to hide your phone, distract you.
Are you saying that because all morning show, all I did was Google pictures of girls that I saw on
No, I
in
knew.
shows
I
on
knew.
Twitter?
I knew for the most part the girls you were googling were related to the Runaways and the other stories.
Both
we
of them were, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, one was from Sense8, the other was from
Sure. Well, Sense8, I don't see.
Inhumans.
I was giving you a lot of rope there, and then you hung yourself with it. Sense8, we never talked about on the morning show.
We sure
Someone
didn't.
offhandedly mentioned in the comments, and you're
We
like,
sure
I gotta
didn't.
look up the cast, and then here's a girl, and now I'm in Google
Well,
image
I
search.
get distracted by shiny objects. We know this. Greg.
Yeah.
Now, she is your lovely wife.
Yeah.
How quickly can we Americanize her? Because
already
you know that I
happening.
wanted to have a 4th of July, like, coming to America celebration for her at some point.
America.
I want to have a birthday party for you.
Okay.
Whenever you officially feel like you're an American.
I'm
Celebrate
turning
your
30.
Independence
yeah.
Day.
I'm turning 30 next year, so that
But that's
could
not
be
your
my
American
Oh.
birthday.
Well, you brought me to Chipotle for lunch.
Welcome to America. That's the beginning. You got the most white ass American Mexican food you're ever gonna eat in your entire life.
Welcome.
I don't feel that great.
Then I guess my question for you is: can I stop trying to say your first name and can I just call you Jen Miller from now on?
Sure.
Now, can it not Jen? I want it Jen Miller.
Jennifer Miller.
Hi, no, just Jen. Hi, I'm Jen Miller. I'm from Ohio. I'm as American as it gets. Ohio. I don't know why I put a.
Where she's
extra
from
couple-
doesn't change.
She's American now. This is all I'm getting at.
Oh, God.
Jen Miller.
It's true, Jen Miller.
Oh, God.
Because when you come into the door, I want to be like this. Bonjour, Jen Miller. Comment allez-vous? Jen Miller. I don't even know what that
I
was.
feel like that name is sucking all of my personality into him. It's like he's absorbing who I am and I'm like a weird Siamese.
Well, Greg's as
twin.
white as it gets.
I
He's
am.
as
That's
American
true.
as
Hi.
white as
Greg
it
Miller.
gets.
As white as
Glen
it
Allen,
gets.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
where
no
he's
S.
from.
No S.
Illinois.
No.
There is an S. You just don't pronounce the
I
S.
say
You've
with
seen
the
it. There is
that's
an
how
S.
it's fucking spelled.
Sure.
FYI.
I mean, well, that's the thing you're talking about, a 4th of July thing for her, which I understand what you meant. You meant like a 4th of July patriotic celebration for her becoming an American.
yeah, happy birthday, America.
What I'm doing is really fucking giving it to her good on 4th of July, both ways. And what's happening is we're taking her to Missouri for a small town 4th of July in Swinky, Missouri.
Swinky.
Yeah.
That's some
the
made
fuck
up
up.
bullshit.
There's
Monroe
no place
City,
called that.
Missouri. Swinky, Missouri.
Kevin, can you
Something like
Google
that.
Swinky, Missouri?
Bring
and
her
see if
there
he's
for a
fucking with us or
very,
not?
very, 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 very small town, and then go right from that to RTX.
Yeah.
So then she gets Austin
That's
as well.
fun.
That
I've
is-
never been to Austin either.
That's an American
Oh, you're
experience
gonna
right
love
there.
Austin.
You're gonna see.
You're gonna
You,
love
want,
Austin.
you think
Now-
you feel bad after eating Chipotle? Let's get a couple Frank's dogs in you, some of that fucking waffle fried
You know
poutine.
what we
Gotta take
need
her
to
to,
do in
Gordo's.
Austin, and like Nick, you're not allowed to do it.
You're not allowed to
No
come
matter
here.
how bad you beg. We went to Austin for Rooster Teeth like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
When you left, I ended up staying, and it was me and Gia, and we went out to this bar on 6th Street. It's the one with the bowl. Like,
Oh,
we've been there
shit.
before.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
We ended up staying there for like an hour and a half, just watching people ride bulls. There's
fun.
nothing better than drunk people on a mechanical bull.
Wasn't there like a surfer guy too?
So yeah, so there's the highlights are if you're a dude, they're just thrashing you about trying to get you
Of
off.
course.
If they're a girl, those guys are
Artists.
They're surgical.
surgical.
They're surgical with that shit.
How they can like bounce the thing, get the girl to be on the side, and then kind of just like do this thing where it's just like twerking. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then
They're masters of their crafts here.
they are masters of the craft. But then there was this one dude that came up, and like you could just tell he was about to wreck shop because he went up to the bull guy early. He was like, "Yo, hey, I'm about to do this shit." And everyone's
He's like Luke
"What-
Perry from that
What's he gonna
movie where he
fucking
rides
do?"
bulls.
And then
8
the
seconds.
bull
6 seconds.
starts going.
8 seconds?
He's not even on it yet. Fucking just jumps. Stands on it
No.
and starts surfing and starts moonwalking on the goddamn bull.
No.
And I'm like, this is the coolest fucking
How
thing I've
slow
ever
was
seen.
the bull going?
Not slow.
Wow.
He didn't last too long.
Sure.
But man, it was a show.
Broke his neck too. That was the last
Then
thing
he just
did.
jumped off. Oh God, the best part, the best fucking part. He does this cool ass show, jumps off the bull, lands, looks at this girl, starts
no.
making out with her,
No.
and then just walks out. Now, was this all planned and scripted? I'm not sure.
Was that man's
I'm
name Tim
assuming.
Gettys?
No, God,
That'd be awesome.
Me on a bull. No,
They would have you twerk.
but what?
They would have you
Oh,
twerk.
They would make that ass work.
There was some people they'd make twerk and like dudes, and it was really.
I remember
dude.
at at San Diego Comic-Con for a while, there was a bar that had
It's
a
still
bull
there?
in it.
I think
Is
it's
it?
still there,
We
yeah.
never went into it, but you and I would often stop and
We would
watch
just stop
for a while.
watching when I was a
Yeah.
smoker back in the day.
Yeah,
I would just
yeah.
smoke cigarettes and watch because it's just a fascinating spectacle. It's fun. It's for good old fashioned fun. I tried it one time at the Block at Orange back in the day when I was living in Orange
Block at
County.
Orange.
It's a place called the Block at Orange. It's a big outdoor mall, and they had one, and I was like, I'll do this. This sounds fun. And sure as shit, I hurt my back.
Of course you did.
I asked.
And
I
did
was
you
like,
ever have a good back?
No.
Okay.
Not that I can recall.
Okay.
But the thing is, I never really put my back to the test until my mid-20s when I started working out and trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
And by that point, I think it was too far. We just too far gone.
Gotcha.
You know?
You can't go back.
Once you go
the
back,
future.
you never go back.
Yeah.
No.
No. I
What?
think.
What do we fuck up?
Was it
His back.
good? Okay.
If you didn't know, this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. It throws the guests all the time, and I feel heartbroken for the ones that know it's going to happen and then miss
And
the
they miss
window.
it? Oh.
You have another one at the end. Don't worry. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny where you can get the show early each and every week, or you can wait. Go to youtube.com/kindafunny. Get it broken up topic by topic, day by day, until the entire thing goes up as one big MP3 and video. I stole
big?
some of your stuff there.
See, I've been stealing your stuff too.
Yeah, I don't like yours. I don't know why I did that. I got dirty for a second. I don't
What?
like it. I want to brush it
I
off
like
me.
it better.
I don't like it better.
I
Because
like
I didn't
it.
say anything about the perks and the goodies. And
sounded
stuff.
right.
Well, so
Couple
because I
bucks.
had to, we recorded a episode of Game Over Greggy show. It was me, Andy,
yeah.
and Bernie that goes live either next week or the week after. We're still deciding. You also get our side of the Nick back injury story on that.
good.
So
Finally.
get hyped about that. But yeah, I had to do the whole Game Over Greggy show rigmarole.
Yeah,
Didn't know it.
Yeah.
I knew some of it.
right.
But
that's the problem with any of the rigmaroles that aren't your rigmarole. You don't know
Yeah.
how to do it. So I think my topic we'll start with.
Okay.
Because my topic comes from you, the community, and also Jean-Vive Saint-Onge. In the way that...
I'm sorry. You mean Jen Miller?
Right, sorry, Jen Miller. Jen Miller. Love of my life. My wife, Jen
Your
Miller.
parents are just like, fuck this.
God.
No, they stopped watching a long time ago. Way too much English.
Shout out to your parents, by the way.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Like, my favorite thing ever is you guys with your picture of all you eating the wings.
Yeah.
And then just your mom with a fucking
my
celery
sister.
stick.
Sister with a
Hell
carrot,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Because my sister doesn't eat that much meat, but she did.
She's
just
some.
not on photos. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she wants to maintain her street cred up in Quebec.
Peer pressure.
Exactly. Yeah. So, right before the wedding, when it was a secret wedding, nobody knew. I did a video that was the AMA for the month. Ask Us Anything, Q&A thing. It's a Patreon perk. Go check it out. And in it, somebody asked to hear the story of how Jen and I met and fell in love. However, I felt like that I can't do that so quickly, knowing that she was coming on this show because I didn't want to burn podcast. You know what I mean?
good podcast
God
content.
forbid, I do not want to think about what my topic's going to be.
No, you don't need to do that.
If I can-
Also, it's a tradition that we take all of our personal lives and just air it out
Right.
on this podcast.
Exactly.
That's what we're here for.
No
That's why
stone
we live.
unturned. Do you know how hard it was for Greg Miller to keep a secret that he was getting married?
I swear you had told us, you were like, look, I'm getting married this weekend or this week, whatever. And you're like, don't tell anyone, it's not a big deal, but look, we're not telling anyone. So I go home and I'm like, I told Danielle, because
course,
of course
yes.
she's my wife. And I was like, yeah, it's awesome. I'm so excited for him, yada, yada. But I'm like, but don't tell anyone because they're not saying anything. You know how I like half listen most of the time?
Yeah.
And then I open up Instagram. It's like all over Instagram. And I'm like, I guess I can.
We got married.
I guess we can talk about people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
exactly, Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations. By
Thank
the way.
you. We'll get to
guys
that.
did a great job.
That'll be topic number 2.
looked great.
The secret wedding and everything else. Instead, we have to answer this person's question on how Jen and I met and fell in love. And as most great Greg Miller stories start, it starts with Nick and Tim.
Yeah.
It's true.
It does.
I'm pretty honored about that because I feel like we've changed your life.
How did you guys? You did? How did you guys meet?
I
Jen?
think I have pictures from the first time you and I met.
Actually, I did pull some up
Oh,
with Nick.
If you go
I
on my
got some
Instagram,
video.
if you go
it's
on
a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
yeah, I think we do have that slow mo video. I met you Comic-Con 2 years ago, or
Yeah,
3,
2015, because we were promoting Lara Croft Go.
right? You were doing this. I believe it's called an activation, where it was like a zip line.
An outdoors activation.
An outdoors.
Excuse you, Nick.
Don't.
And Tim goes, hey, we should go over to this thing. They're doing the ziplining thing. It'll be hilarious. Nick, you should tweet more, yada, yada, yada. Nick, Instagram more. Nick, you're really funny. Nick, you're super charming.
All true. All things
Okay,
I said.
okay.
So
it all checks out.
we go over there, and I met you. You walked us to the front of the line, and then we talked you into doing it too, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, truth be told, though, I didn't really know who you guys were.
Yeah.
So you met me the night before this
At the party,
at
IGN
the IGN.
Comic-Con
IGN party.
Yeah, but-
which is the best party of all time.
Pretty much only, though, because Nick knew who,
Verge.
he was like a huge fan of he was a Kind of Funny best friend.
Yeah, okay.
Was
Well,
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Nick Verge was one of the biggest Kind of Funny best friends in the silent majority. And then as soon as Jen started dating me, he's like, fuck, and couldn't watch it
I'm
anymore.
over. I'm just done. I
because
get it.
I
though.
kept bugging him with like those cool news about Greg Miller, and he's like, "Oh God, you've never watched him in like 10 years. This
don't
is an
deserve
insult
this."
to my knowledge."
Yeah, no, because he was the homie at that party.
Yeah.
Like, so you like came up, you're like, you need to meet this guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then he was the coolest dude ever. I fucking love. Shout out to you, Nick Verge.
What up,
if
Nick?
you ever watch this.
I hope he can come
he'll
back
watch
now.
this one.
I
He'll
hope he
watch
can
this
come
one.
back now.
Oh,
So
God.
if you click on my profile pic, Kev, you'll see that's me from. Oh shit, it's on there somewhere.
Just,
You're gonna have to
nobody pay
scroll.
attention.
July 2015.
Don't worry about everything.
Do you delete your Instagram
up,
photos
go
like
up.
a
We don't
crazy
need to.
person?
No one can see this. This is bad
my
podcast.
God.
Don't worry about it. God, calling on that elliptical. What a man.
Oh, that was a great one
What
when
a
we did
body.
the
Oh,
Justin
there you
Bieber thing.
no, it's right there.
Yeah, there it is, right there. Boom.
Oh, there
me.
you are.
you.
That's your
It's
face.
There you go.
Hold on. Kev's bringing it over to the big screen in
Kev, bring it up
3,
the big screen.
2, 1.
Kevin, bring it on the screen.
Half.
Kevin, just cut to the full
a
screen.
quarter.
We've talked to this.
15. 1. There it is.
Perfect.
There it is.
I look like I'm giving the finger, but I'm
Andrew
holding
22
something.
You also look
the
like
girl
you're
in the corner
15
looks like
feet
she's
tall.
flipping us off.
No, I'm holding something.
Your phone. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
holding a phone. Yeah.
So that was the next day after the party. Tim was like, hey, we should go by this thing and say hi to Nick and this girl Jen. I was like, cool, it sounds fun. And he's like, yeah, we get to zip line. And I'm like, that sounds fun too. In fact,
Did it, or you're afraid your back's gonna explode?
No, I was
This
like, I
thing?
really don't want to do that. But then I think we were with Pitts also. I think he was here.
Yeah,
at some
Pitts was
point
with us.
And he was like, come on, Scarpino, you got to do this. Nick, come on, you got this.
I was like, we can fucking zip line. We get to cut the line. If we had to wait in line, I'd been like, fuck that shit. But you're like, no, dude, come and we'll get you up there. I'm like, hell yeah. So we have videos of Nick with the 2 guns in slow-mo going down
fun.
the zip line. And it was fun. And yeah, then that was kind of the beginning.
Now,
the
of
end.
course, as you know how Comic-Con works, is that I work nonstop, and you idiots get to go have fun
Yeah,
and
we
do
fuck
cool
around.
things. I go and host
Fuck around and
19
get caught up on a
panels.
187.
I come
It's
back.
called
I'm
business,
I'm
Greg.
starving. I have to eat leftovers with strangers. I don't know what's going on.
What we like to do is you go out there, you do the hard work.
Sure.
Tim and I like to plant the seeds for future amazing relationships. Now, you clearly can't really, you can't.
I
argue
guess,
with
yeah,
that.
all right,
You
all
really
right.
Can't, right?
All right, sure.
Because if it weren't for us,
Well, what happens is I run
wouldn't
back
have
into you
said no.
guys later. I assume at a Starbucks. I don't know. I have the shirt and tie on. I remember, and it was like I'm getting caught up from Tim on all the business transactions, everything that's happening, where you're going, and you're just like, yeah, we met the hottest PR girl from Square Enix,
I'm not PR.
and I was like, oh,
Shame
that's
on me.
cool. That's cool. That's interesting. Good. Okay, cool. And didn't file it away. I'm in a relationship at the time. You're in a relationship at the time. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But what happened from there was that then we worked a different deal out with Square Enix to do, I guess, PAX, which this is still our first calendar year of Kind of Funny.
Because you did Uncovered first, and then PAX rolled into that, right?
Uncovered? No, we did Uncover the beginning of our second year, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So what had happened is Square had always been good to us with that. They were the first people to reach out when, hey, we're leaving IGN, and they immediately hit us up and were like, hey, do you want to go to PAX East, host our panels? We'll pay you. We'll give you money to get there since you guys have no money or whatever. Great. That's what it was. What are you making a face about? That's correct.
Yeah, I guess it is.
It is correct. And then Comic-Con.
But she wasn't involved in that.
No.
Okay, cool,
So
cool,
then
cool.
getting ready
Got
for
it.
the next PAX, we did another Square deal. We're like, hey, do you want to host the panels? We'll fly up there. We're like, yes, exactly. That's what we need. They're like, awesome, cool. And one of them was Lara Croft Go.
Yeah,
panel.
because they
Right.
kind of threw my panel into the bigger bundle of Square Enix
Right.
activations.
Right.
So that's how we first interacted.
Sure. And we were both in relationships. We were both
Yeah.
fine people. But I do remember looking at her and be like, oh, I can see what Nick was talking about. She's very attractive. I'm like, yeah,
I can see what Nicholas Scarpino was talking
I
I like
was-
how
about.
when you wait, let's back up for a second. I like how when you remember it, you're all prim and proper, and I'm
Yeah.
this sleazy asshole over here who's like,
thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin.
I'm not debating that.
Okay.
I'm not debating that at all. I would never try to insult our fine audience out there by saying I'm anything but a sleazy piece of shit.
Sure.
But you being prim and proper, that's not how I remember that going.
I don't. There's nothing to remember because I don't think anything happened. I wasn't like, you're right. What a hot piece of ass.
Well,
Makes me want to play a mobile game now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's get a cigar and a beer.
She had viewfinders.
Yeah,
did.
you
I
guys
was
are
doing
cool.
Swag
Yeah.
viewfinders. And I was like, okay, cool.
But that was the thing. There's a photo of us together on the panel.
Yeah.
You took a selfie with your whole team, right? Or they took it, and you're on.
They took it.
It's me at the podium, you there, then the team
Handling
over
the
there.
PowerPoint.
Exactly.
Well,
like a
you're
pro.
actually being very sarcastic to me, and I wasn't sure if I had to take you seriously or not.
I think that was
Sure.
called
And Nick and I
flirting,
were
but
in
I'm not
the
sure.
front row just fucking with you the entire time.
Yeah.
It's great.
That was super fun.
That sounds about right.
You did a great job with that panel, by the way.
Thanks.
You kept it together like
That was a
pro.
fun panel. That was a panel or a PAX of good panels.
was.
That's the other one where we did our first. Hey, let's get drunk on a panel.
Oh, that was fun. Did,
that
at
was
a
a
certain,
great
at what
panel.
point were they like, "Hey, you're not supposed to do this"?
That was the last PAX.
last time.
At PAX East, after our panel at PAX East, which was an amazing panel, I woke up to an email of like, hey, heard you guys were hitting the booze pretty hard. We're not about that. Please don't do that. And I was
You're
like, I'm
like,
so
okay,
sorry. They're like,
no
I don't
problem.
care. It's just like, that was really hard from what I hear because we were, we brought Zyger up, who we said was 12, and told him to chug.
Oh,
and then we did the same thing to Alex O'Neill. All these kids who look the most baby faces of baby faces.
Right.
We didn't even drink that much, but we made it seem like
we were having a couple
Didn't
days.
you ice people or did we ice you? I forget what was
I think Did I get iced? I might have gotten iced.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? No.
The Smirnoff Ice did.
I asked for you guys to give me some Smirnoff
Yeah.
Ice, and then we started icing other
You
people.
guys ice
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, we did ice people. We did. And can I hear you in your microphone, Kev? You're leaning back
Yeah,
playing
they
your
can
Switch.
totally
Just
hear
make
me.
sure.
You guys iced a lot of people.
The icing, by the way, is arguably one of the funniest fucking things, and I
In the
will
world.
always do it for the rest of my life. I think it's hilarious.
What I appreciate about the icing is like it's not too intimidating. You walk up to somebody with like a bottle of something and shots, people are like, oh, I don't know. But an ice, everybody's like, oh, fuck, and they just do it.
Oh,
I've
please.
seen bus drivers do it driving the bus.
Yeah. Go bus full of kids. Bus full of kids. It's like, come on, dude, be a fucking man.
Just don't ever do it to me because it's the
too small.
first thing I ever got sick on at 14.
Smirnoff Ice. Yeah, you and me both, sister.
So-
Actually, mine was Zima. I was a
Zima
huge
was a big
Zima
deal.
fan back
Yeah,
then.
Zima
It
was a big
tasted
thing,
good.
yeah.
It tasted like
I never had a Zima. I think they were out of business by the time.
Oh,
Or at least
yeah.
not easy to find. Because that was the thing. You remember Zimas? I remember
They-
Zimas. The commercial, remember the guy had a little cap on? He's like, hey. You're going to a thing.
Hey, Spider-Man.
I'm pretty
Hey,
sure.
Spider-Man, you want a cool drink?
I'm pretty sure the Zima Smirnoff Ice like rivalry.
Yeah.
I think Smirnoff Ice.
Oh,
Came out on
Smirnoff
top
totally
on
won.
that,
Oh, totally.
unfortunately. But
Totally.
Zima had a quality product, and it was great because I mean, you guys know this. I have an older brother, Matt Scarpino.
Oh, do you? I
God
haven't
bless
heard
him,
about
Scarpino, man. He was always 4 years older than me, so by the time.
He was always.
Well, sometimes he was 5. It was one of those things where like sometimes he was 5, sometimes he was 4.
Okay, got
I'm
it.
like, wait, are you 4 or 5?
No, because depending on the.
Because he's
month.
October and I'm January,
No, I
so
know,
sometimes
I'm
he was
saying
like, for like 3
He
months.
started by saying he was always, and then clarified by saying, well, yeah, not always.
Depending on the month, he was either 4 or 5 years older than me. But he would always drink hard shit. But I
Yeah.
wanted to hang with him, and they would always buy Zima and Smirnoff Ices for any girls that were around because we're talking like we're 16, 17 years old.
Sure.
At this point, I'm 13 years old. And so I'm clearly in that category of people who like, I'm like, all this tastes like shit to me. Somebody give me something, and they would play jokes on me and make me drink Zimas. And I was like, the joke's on you.
I enjoy
this. This is really good. And then, yeah, of course, your hangover next day would be fucking wicked
all the
because it's just
sugar.
sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar water. So here's my question for you guys then.
Yeah.
Are we at some point I do my Nick thing where I'm like, I'm clearly not paying attention to anything that's happening.
Sure.
And then you go, hey, I've got this date with this girl.
Sure, I did it at UFC. I was over at your house. I brought wings. We're going to watch UFC.
That's right.
Yeah.
You came over. You introduced Wing Wings to my wife,
Yeah.
who is now obsessed
Now
with
an
them.
addiction
Thank
to
you for
her.
that.
So good.
Sometimes
Yeah.
she goes, "Can Greg come over?" And I'm like, "Do you want me just to go get Wing Wings?"
She's like, yeah, I don't want to talk to
Yeah,
Greg.
she's like, I don't want to talk to you either, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Just drop the wings off and go over to Greg's house.
Yeah.
So walk me through that process.
There was 6 months prior to that where we had the most obnoxious and oblivious back and forth on text messages.
Was
and
it a
Facebook
flirty?
Messenger.
No, she's going to tell you it is. She's going to tell you it is.
My intentions were clear.
They were not clear at ever.
I gave so many signals to this man.
She did not give signals at all. So we do the PAX thing. Great. We run into each other a few other times at events here and there
Yeah.
in passing. Great. No big deal. And then my timeline's right. It's E3? Or was there the other PAX?
No,
before
I
that?
chased you.
PAX East?
I used the bullshit, it's your birthday Facebook notification thing to message you on Facebook, which you use like an 80-year-old
As everyone
woman.
knows, Facebook is stupid and I hate Facebook and I don't use it.
Amen,
So,
sister.
I did the thing of like, hey, happy birthday. Here's my phone number. We should hang out at E3 or something. And then you texted
she's
me
mixing and matching. That's not how it
days
went.
later
That's not how it went.
of like, hi.
No, I think it was you sent me a birthday request and I said nothing back. Or happy birthday,
yeah,
I said
no,
nothing.
you didn't
Then
reply for days.
leading into, because I don't use Facebook. When I check in, I have like 90 messages on Facebook because I just don't check. And they're always like, hey man, I'm in San Francisco for a day. Can I hang out? I'm
It's like 3 months later.
Sorry, man. But then it was, leading into E3 last year, you hit me up. We were both single. You hit me up and were like, hey, I don't know if this is weird or whatever, but we've never actually never actually talked. It'd be cool to catch up at E3.
Which is true because we had never hung out outside of work
Sure.
stuff. And I had no idea.
And so I was like, and you're like, I think you said, and I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And you're like, here's my number.
Yeah.
And I gave you my number. And then I texted you. And I texted you the awesome joke of, look at us communicating across the continent. And she responded back, yeah, the power of technology.
To
And
which you
then
replied
I never
nothing.
responded again. Never responded.
And I was like, oh man, what a waste.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that? This is the exact point of what I talk about all the time in this story of why I am dense as a rock in this story is because I have enough female friends in the video game industry where I've seen them where this happens. You just want to sit down and talk to me about the next Lara Croft Go game or whatever, and I'm sitting there like, oh hey, this girl's really into me, and then it's not that way and it's awkward. So now I'm not gonna. You know how many people hit me up on my birthday? All these people wanting to talk to me, all these PR people.
Also, I think you
slimy
just
people.
completely misunderstood my role because I never hit people up for
Well, no,
interviews
100%.
or-
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know anything about
So-
it. I don't know how mobile.
We don't
things
understand the difference between marketing and PR.
100%. We
Sorry,
do not.
we just
Now I
don't
do.
get that.
Now there's
Yeah,
activations.
I can do a full
Activation.
segment on that
Outdoor
if you guys want.
activation.
Maybe on Gamescast. That would be interesting there.
Yeah.
So
Not so
I
much
blow
here.
off this E3. Let's hang out, get a drink at E3 or whatever. But it's not spelled out like, hey, let's get together at E3 and like.
No,
see
I'm
what's-
like, let's grab a drink. I never invite anybody out for drinks
Sure.
ever.
But as you
ever,
know,
unless you know.
much like Comic-Con, I work at E3. You guys don't as much. I work at E3. All right, I go there. I'm on other people's podcasts. I'm doing the Giant Bomb thing. I'm popping for a Beyond. I'm doing this. I'm making the connections.
I like to think of myself.
You're not making the connections. That's what we do. We make.
Again,
Did you make a
connections.
connection with the star of Star Wars Battlefront 2 back when she wasn't the star of Star Wars Battlefront 2? She was just a star from
That
True
wasn't
Blood?
Comic Con.
That was E3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about Comic Con.
No, we're talking about E3 now.
Oh, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
we moved on.
Oh, God.
Again, I like.
Wait, E3? We're all working E3.
6 months later.
Kevin, who works the hardest at E3?
I think I do.
That's actually true. That is honestly 100%
Yeah,
true. That is 100% true. So E3, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But E3 comes and goes, and I never even remember to text
And I
her to
don't
talk
reach
to her.
out because I think, oh my God, he's probably super busy, has way too many friends, and he's probably just not interested in having one more friend. In my mind, you were the talent where you were so busy and you were constantly surrounded by so many people that I'm like,
100%
if
true.
he's going to want to hang out, sure, but he's probably not looking for more friends. So, I mean, no big deal.
Stop trying. Not you, so the other people. A lot of
We
people
were
still
friends. I didn't have
Yeah.
enough friends. So
Yeah.
we were friends for a long time.
Trying. Yeah, exactly. But now you're getting to that point too, where you're just like, I don't need all this dead weight.
I got
Sorry,
too many-
Colonel. It's over.
Colonel,
Get
you're
out of here.
done.
It's done. We don't
Get
need
the fuck
you.
out of here.
So E3 comes and goes. However, as usual, I'm out working, and you chuckleheads are out partying. So the next day, Nick Scarpino wanders in and talks about how he ran into Jen last night, and this crazy thing happened to her, where a naked man busted into her hotel room.
That's right.
The Line Hotel, I love them. Great rooms, amazing restaurant.
That's right.
Fun shows,
Because we were
too.
staying in the same hotel. That's right.
Yeah. And
forgot.
we ran into each other in the lobby. And I was probably very pale.
You were a bit flustered.
So I was a very naive hotel room user in which I never put the deadbolt on my door at any given time.
So you guys, but you had one of those adjoining rooms, right? Oh no, it was just legitimately
It's
some guy just
legit-
popped
it's-
into your fucking room.
The door just doesn't go all the way in.
It's one of those, you ever
It doesn't
walk into a
click.
hotel room and let the door slam behind you, but it doesn't actually slam, it just rests. That's what happened here.
exactly.
I know that's happening.
So on Tuesday night, I was on the Bombcast, and then there was a Square party, which I didn't go to because I was starting game interviews the next day for Deus Ex Go, and I wanted to be rested because I knew, like, for people who don't know how interview rooms go, you're locked up from 9 to 6, 7 in one meeting room, and you never see the light, and it's
People
just
just come to you.
It's just like
press
Vegas. It's
back
terrible.
to back to back to back. So I wanted to be in shape and awake, so I didn't drink, and I went to bed at midnight ish. And long story short, at 5 a.m., I woke up to the resounding sound of somebody urinating, and I'm like, man, the walls are so thin in here.
Like that guy sounds like he's in literally my room.
And then I sit up in my bed and it's super dark, and I turn around and the bathroom light is on. And then I start waking up for real. Like the adrenaline kicks in.
Adrenaline's what she's trying to say.
I figured it out.
He loves it. I hate it.
I love
He
it
lo-
so goddamn. Every time I just look at Greg because I'm just like,
I've had it translated so
urinating.
much. Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, you get me
Constantly.
Yeah.
now. Adrenaline. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, it kicks in, and
Yeah.
so I sit up in my bed, and I'm like, oh my God, survival instinct kicks in. I'm naked. I have nothing. There's no weapons like to grab. No phone. Nothing.
You're like folding up a piece
It's
of
like
paper to
one
like a,
of
like a
those-
sharp
no,
point.
Ninja stars.
You're like-
It's one of those minimalistic rooms with nothing.
the line,
in there.
like yeah, the Line Hotel is very, very like chic, minimalist,
It's
like
great.
modern, like concrete wall. Like you can't even. There's nothing even hanging on the walls.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
cinder
yeah.
block walls.
It's so great. I
Sounds
love it.
lovely.
Oh, it's fucking cool.
Go to
Actually,
jail.
we should,
the
we should
jail
consider
room.
staying in
Oh
there
my
because the one cool thing about the hotel, I will say, other than the fact that their security sucks, is that the all of the like the front walls are just all glass.
Yeah.
So you can open up the entire wall and just look out over
Oh, yeah.
LA, which is really really cool.
And that's where I ended up backing myself
Yeah,
against.
naturally.
Because there's nothing. There is like the door, the bathroom, the bed, and the
yeah, there's
the
nothing.
wall.
There's no
There's
like
nothing.
jut. There's nothing separating.
So I
you.
grab a couple clothing items and I cover myself up and I back myself up against the window and I wait for the guy to finish peeing because I'm like,
Well, thank you.
He's
That was nice of
halfway
you because I'm
done.
gonna tell you one thing right now. It sucks when you have to pinch it off. Very painful. That was very considerate of you. Can we back up real quick?
Yeah.
You grabbed a bunch of clothing items.
Yeah.
Were you naked at this point?
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
an important safety tip.
yeah.
So at this point, you're not only vulnerable emotionally,
100%
but you
vulnerable.
you are in your birthday suit.
Yes.
Waiting for this dude who may or may not be in his birthday
Who
suit.
knows?
To stop this horse piss that he's taking in the next room.
I don't. I also don't have my glasses on, so it's the only I can't see anything.
I had my glasses on. It was pitch dark. All the electricity went
She's
out.
like every
And there was an
cartoon
alien in the
turtle
room.
that
Yeah.
ever gets pulled out of its shell. That's like what she is. No idea what's happening. Totally naked and vulnerable.
Oh my god. So yeah, okay.
So
keep going.
anyway, he finishes, and I managed to put my glasses on because you just want to see who the hell this guy is.
He's about to murder you.
And I'm like, oh man, what shitty way to die. Like, I'm going to be the E3 hotel room lady that, like,
You haunt
murder.
everything.
Yeah.
You-
Anyway.
You haunt
So-
the Figueroa's bar.
He comes out of the bathroom and it's pitch black, so I can't see anything despite the glasses. And my first reaction, which makes absolutely no sense, is to look at him and be like, don't freak out, but this is not your room.
Canadian.
And he's like,
Canadian as fuck.
and he
American
looks
would have
around.
literally, he would have walked out of the bathroom, you fucking shit him in the fucking
man.
gut.
Straight in the dick. Chop that shit up.
I've run this story in my head so many times if I was there. Like, what if it happened this E3 and I'm sleeping extra and this happens? It's like, I sit up, I'm naked, baby oil all over myself, and just wait. The guy fucking spear him into the door.
Guy just walks out,
raining blood.
and you're finishing up putting the baby oil on you, and you just I would pass out with terror if I saw that. Like, cue a French girl on the side of corner of the bed like this, and just Greg muscled up and greased up, ready to fucking Goldberg spear me into the fucking door.
Through the door, pick him up, fucking RKOs.
Oh
and
my
left off.
god.
Oh my god.
So clearly he's super drunk because his first reaction is, oh shit. And then I'm like,
Oh
oh
my God,
my
it's
god.
Grimecraft.
But thanks.
All you saw was hair.
So wait, I forget. How the
this
fuck
room's
did this guy
sus.
get into your room to
So
begin
that's the
with?
thing. Like for his only moment of clarity, he decides to investigate this item and be like, I want to figure out how I got in this room. And so immediately he goes towards the communicating door. And I'm just standing there being like, actually, you know what? Can you just leave? Like
Yeah.
that would be rad. And so he leaves and I file in the whole security report thing. And then I'm convinced I'm insane. Like I just imagined all of that and I just.
Because they don't believe you, right? You
No,
file the thing and they're
I
like,
mean,
there's no
like-
naked guy wandering around
Yeah,
the
you're
hotel.
like, there's a naked drunk. No, because the end part, when I realized he was naked, is when he left. He turned around, and all I could see in the like night light was his white shining ass in the dark, and I'm like, oh Jesus, you're naked, I'm naked. This is really fucking weird.
Yeah.
And he left, and I shut the door, deadbolted it, sat on the bed, called security 10 minutes later because I had to tweet about it to make it real because it didn't feel real.
There's nothing more real than Twitter. That's for sure.
That's how you know what happened. That's how you know what happened.
Oh
Maybe
my God.
Instagram more real
So
than Twitter.
I went back to work all day, and at 3 p.m. I get a call from the front desk, and they were like the most apologetic people I've ever seen. They're like, "We are so sorry. We found him on camera footage, like security footage. He essentially, they never really gave me the details because probably." Like it was the guy from across the hallway from me,
Okay.
just stumbled out of his room, pushed his door, pushed my door, went to the bathroom because the bathrooms had those sliding doors.
Yeah.
So at 5 a.m., if he was super drunk and needed to take a piss, he probably thought it was just a door. And then he ended up in the hallway. And I don't know how we made the
You gotta be
connection.
really fucking drunk because the hallways, by the way, are lit.
Yeah.
So
Like a party, or they're like you can see.
no, like
like-
19.
like-
I was born in 1980 lit.
Sorry,
like
okay.
the actual literal translation.
Again,
of
I think it was
word.
Grimecraft. He's my number one suspect.
That might
Yeah,
be.
his suspect.
So anyway, they gave me a notebook and
Oh!
some lip balm.
Oh, great.
As an
okay.
Please don't
apology.
sue us.
Okay, cool.
Did they give you your room for free?
No.
Oh, okay.
Canadian.
Well,
We would have been.
No,
we would be
again-
staying
I
there
would
free.
own that fucking hotel
Exactly.
right now. I'd be like, I am Mr. The Line.
The security guy
you.
I filed the report with was like, "Oh man, you're not from LA."
Oh,
Because
dude, no. If someone, oh my god, if that happened to my wife,
because I was laughing throughout the
Can you
whole
imagine if that happened to
process.
D? She'd be
Sweet
like,
Jesus.
I own this entire floor of this hotel right now. Oh my god.
So
yeah.
that happens. You hear the story at a party the next night. The next day, I guess you
No, in the
tell me.
lobby.
Oh,
Yeah,
in the
I saw
lobby.
it in the
Right.
lobby that morning,
Sorry. You tell it to me. Again, that doesn't trigger me that we had a conversation where I should call you and talk to you or anything like that, and we should get a drink. I don't even think about it. We go from our Airbnbs to our hotels for Let's Play Live. And as the door closes behind me, I walked over there, locked the deadbolt, took a photo, and texted it to Jen. That's
and
all
I'm
I
like,
said.
ha ha ha! I can't wait to tell you in person.
She didn't say in person in all caps or bolded or anything. So I'm just like, yeah, the next event, you'll tell me in person. I don't respond to the text, and I move on with my life.
No, yeah, you never replied. I'm like, okay.
God, you hate
all
your
right.
penis. You hate your
I
penis
just-
so much.
No.
Again, I
I'm
don't want
with
to be that
Greg on
guy.
this. That is so. Those are not real hints at all. And if a guy were to take those as hints, it's offensive.
It's true. Here's
That
the
is
deal.
not okay.
To be fair, you do have to err on the side of caution when you are a
No,
guy.
I don't. No, I give him all the
dealing
credit
with-
in the
I'm a
world.
gentleman,
industry.
guys.
Yeah.
It's good to be. It's
A
better
gentleman.
to be more gentlemanly than
No,
me.
absolutely. I give him a hard time, but I appreciate it.
No problem. Love you.
But it was my last effort at the end. I would not have tried again.
Well, which
Yeah.
leads us to the last effort at the end. I am out to a lovely dinner at the Richmond Draught House
With Kevin.
with my friend Kevin Coelho. Yeah. And we have had a few. and we are eating the steak poutine fries I love. We're eating the chicken wings I love, and the phone vibrates. And I pick it up off the table, and it's Jen. And one word says, hi, hello. Mashed up. Hi, hello, all one word.
I was drunk at.
To what I do is I look at Kevin and I go, Kevin, I'm drunk, but this seems like a drunk text message.
I was having dinner at Jeffrey Yohalim's cool apartment condo in Montreal.
Shout out to Jeffrey Yohalim,
who lives in San Francisco now.
who lives in San Francisco now. But at the time is in Montreal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were on our third or fourth bottle of wine. There was about
Bottle of wine?
5 of us.
Okay.
So it's not too bad.
That's okay.
He was like, oh,
Jesus,
jeez.
you guys might have a fucking problem. You got a third, fourth bottle of wine between the two of us. I was like, wow. You got to liver like a fucking machine.
There was also Teddy Deef and Cara Ellison and Manveer here.
These are video game names.
I understand. I didn't understand.
Teddy. And so we got really drunk. And at some point, I think you liked one of my tweets. And I'm like, oh,
Twitter.
all right, let's do this.
And so on my end, I'm like, oh, okay. I think this is a drunk message. Now I say Kevin said no, she wouldn't drunk text you. Kevin says he was in from the beginning.
No, yeah.
Get in there.
Because you
Figure it out.
read me the message, and I was like, yep, go for it, bud.
Yeah. So we start going back with the cat and mouse game, the playful banter. Everything's going really, really well. And so then, again, I'm a gentleman. I just say, so what is going on?
And I just text back. I just what
No,
did
she
I
said,
want to flirt with you.
I am drunk on I'm drunk on Chilean wine, and I want to flirt with you. To which
I had to lay it all out because at this point I'm like, it's the last time I try this.
To which I respond, that's what I wanted you to say. And then we never stopped talking in our entire lives. That was the end of that.
Because I was coming to Steph on a press tour.
Yeah,
the
you were
next
coming
week.
through the next week.
Yeah.
And so, but that once we had it all out and we knew what we were doing, what the parameters of these texts were, that was the end of that.
Once
Yeah.
you actually slid into the DMs.
Yeah.
In like a real way, not just in a I'm DMing you.
Hey, I'm going to
It's 'cause
E3
I
and I
never
want to know if you
DM
wanted to get a drink and
anybody.
talk about
So
my
to
new
me,
product.
you guys
From
didn't know
Square
that,
Much.
though.
Yeah.
Right, I'll send you a calendar invite. I'm like, that's not sexy. Calendar invites are not sexy.
Here's my conference call line number.
Oh, there you go. That's how you know it's serious. That's how you know it's serious.
No, that's the thing. I never hit up anybody ever in the industry. I'm like, ooh, that's weird.
Yeah. But I would never know that, of course. So there you go. We start texting. We don't stop texting. And now this transitions, I think, into topic 2, which is us getting married.
Immediately after.
Pretty much.
Literally 2 days later, it happened.
No, we started into this thing, and Kevin, we have the champagne now. We started into this thing of texting, and it's a full week before, it's like a week and a day before you're even going to be in town.
Yeah.
So your first real night here is when we're going to go on the date. Your first night in town is when we're going to go on the date. And so we text nonstop, and the story goes that the night before the first date, I am drunk again. I'm painting a bad picture of my drinking habits. Drunk again, though. And I text him, hey, are you there? Can I tell you something? Will you keep it in the vault? Something to that effect. To which Tim doesn't respond. I needed an instant
Wait,
response.
I'm sorry, Tim didn't respond instantly to a text
Yeah,
message?
exactly.
That's a shocker.
Yeah.
Because he's an asshole.
That's a shocker.
All right. I responded an hour later.
An hour later.
Hey,
Probably the next day.
hour
Maybe
later.
even a week
I
later.
have the text messages.
Yeah.
An hour later, I go, sorry, I was in the shower. Which Greg replies with the most Greg Miller response of all time. Like, I forgot exactly what it was, but it's like
You had your chance. I
you
was
had your
vulnerable.
chance, I was vulnerable. Now I'm a rock. I'm back to being a rock. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you coaxed it out of me because I was just giving you a hard
course.
time. I was just fucking
Of
around.
course.
You know
Classic
that.
Greg Miller.
And what I said is that Jen's awesome. I'm going to marry her. And that was.
And I was like, haha, she is awesome. there was a lot of. So my whole side of this was I get the text from, I forgot if it was Kevin or you. I think it was actually both.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
night that the drunk text
Sure.
first started. And at some point, it's just like, it is confirmed.
Should I pop this?
yeah, please.
Yeah, pop that shit.
Ooh.
Scared me.
I
Scared
should
me.
have sabered it.
We don't have. The neighbors. You ever seen her saber something?
Oh, Saber.
Yeah.
They just said
have a
Saber.
Saber?
I'm like, how much more could you?
I'll send. I have the video. I'll send the video to Kev. You can pull it up first.
It's so dark though. Okay.
But yeah, I get these texts coming in from all different angles.
They're hitting you from all different angles.
They're essentially just like, all right, it is confirmed. Like, Jen is flirting with Greg. And my first response is, what the fuck? I was like, I don't believe.
I'll be honest. For up until about 2 days ago, I was like, I think
This
he's
isn't
really
real.
misconstruing all of this.
Yeah.
There's got to be some miscommunication here that's happening somewhere.
Well, that's the funny thing about you saying, like, you know, when I came to your house with the Wing Wings and told you I was going to date with her or whatever, it was that thing of like, so yeah, I got a date this week. And you're like, oh, wow, who's it with? And I'm like, it's with Jen. And you were like, Jen, like, and I'm like, Jen from Square Enix. You're like, whoa. You're like, whoa, okay.
I was like, okay, because Greg and I we have a really good relationship.
We do.
But we don't
We do.
have, up until recently, I think we've probably gone beyond this now. This
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Cheers, Kevin. Kevin doesn't have any.
Oh, Kevin, why did you pour yourself a glass?
Kev, get a little glass. Get a little glass of glassy.
We're celebrating us getting married. You love us. You were there.
Okay.
We should go to Richmond Draw Festival.
I'm down.
Good relationship.
Greg and I have never had the bro down relationship where I can ask him intimate details about your body.
Getting there, though.
Getting there, close to that. So I was like,
You should see the photos I got.
I would love to see those photos. Could you blur out all of you though in there? But I was like, I'm like, I know I don't have necessarily this relationship with you. We are really good friends, and I consider you at this point part of my family. But I'm like, at that point, at that time, at that juncture, I was like, how do I tell him I'm so proud of him without it sounding like a backhanded compliment?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Where I'm
sure.
like, I'm like, how do I phrase this without saying like, there's no fucking way you accomplished this, but you did, and I'm really proud of you. I think I just came. I was
Kinda
like,
funny.
I was like, that's awesome. I'm super proud of you. And then I think I may have said like, don't fuck this up, or like when it goes south, don't worry. Sure. When she stops drinking, like, don't worry.
It was interesting the amount of people who were like, yeah, man, that's awesome. And I was like, I really like, great. Don't get hurt. Everyone was very like,
no, I said
don't
that
get hurt, man.
in my text message.
Yeah.
When you, I'm going to marry her, I forgot exactly what I said, but it was something that said like, hey man, she's awesome. Don't get hurt.
Yeah. Everybody,
I also said that.
Kevin said it when we were having cigars. Yeah. When I was like, I think I'm going to marry her later on. Like, that was after the first date.
To be fair, that's not a judgment on you or anybody.
Well, it's also, hey,
when you just actually started talking to someone and the first gut reaction is I'm going to marry this person.
we talked for a week.
Yep.
Don't get hurt. You did. But my favorite
entire
this is, again,
week.
another classic Greg Miller thing is like Nick doesn't listen to things. That is a fact. However, the way that you'll nonchalantly just say things like I can
sometimes-
totally
yeah.
imagine you just be like, yeah, I got a date with Jen. It's like, no, that's not how you kind of express that.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be a bit more pointed of like,
circumstance,
so
yeah.
you're
that was-
not going to believe what I'm about to say. There needs
Yeah.
to be a bit more.
Give me a little build up to it.
Sure.
Because
Sorry.
remember how
Next
we
time.
described this girl to you the first time we met
I remember,
her.
yeah.
Right. It was graphic. It was really inappropriate. So you have to understand like that. There's a lot to unpack there.
Sure.
And so you just kind of dropping that on us. I was
sorry,
like,
sorry, my
I don't. You got to make a bigger deal.
I
Also,
already played so
I'm
much
married,
with these two. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. I'm married. I have to live. You were the only single person at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In our organization. So I was like, I have to live vicariously through your penis.
Sure.
You have to share graphic details.
Gotcha, okay.
Graphic details with
My
me of what's
apologies,
going
man.
on.
Okay.
Because
I'll let you
again,
down on this one.
you'll see a couple years from now.
Yeah.
When you're on that island with me, that barren landscape of an island.
Sure.
You'll need this.
Okay.
And all you'll have is Kevin telling you about all the inappropriate things he does to Paula.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Kevin, I sent you the sabering video via Slack to the control center because I listened
God
and learned.
bless Slack. I'm enjoying Slack, by the way.
Thank
I'm not
you.
using it a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah.
but I see all the updates. It's nice.
So
So when I don't listen, I can go back 3 days later and be like,
Can I
get
read
it.
the text messages?
sure, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Just going through here. At some point, you go, I can be completely vulnerable with you, and you'll just keep it locked in the vault, right? Just between us. And I respond, of course. But it was 30 minutes later.
30 minutes, Kevin.
It's too late. I'm a rock again. And I go, no. And you go, you missed my moment of weakness. And then I was like, I was driving, so I guess I was in the shower. I was driving. I'm going to end up marrying Jen one day. LOL. She's the best. All caps, vault. And the next text.
That means it's really in the vault.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah. Just make sure you understand how the vault
Then
works.
don't throw it in my face when it never happens. And I just go, LOL.
We
She
are-
really is. Then you go, neither of us can believe how well this is going. It's weird. And
Because this, mind you, we still haven't gone on the first date.
No.
We are just texting
You're
so
just
much. Like,
texting.
I can't believe how much we like each other. This is awesome.
I give you a little less than 3 symbol.
Yep.
And you give me the little less than 3 symbol.
I do love
And then again say, Don't throw it at me when this goes nowhere, but if we do get married, put it in your speech.
Yeah.
And then next text parentheses, when we get divorced, don't bring it up. Next text parentheses, when our firstborn dies in a DUI, wonder aloud if I have
my
powers.
I'm just saying, if I called all 3 of those things in succession, like that's going to be pretty
I
cool.
really
And you'd
hope
have to think
not.
that I have powers.
Yeah,
And
no,
then,
at that
you
point,
know
I'll be
what?
like, Greg
I feel
is
like this
a
is where
seer.
this needs to go just for a little bit of clarification for everybody. And I just go, LOL. I love it so much. It is weird and random as hell, but fucking awesome. And you go, we text all day and are like, quote, this is great. Why is this so great? And then you say, and then of course, she's smoking fucking hot. So here's the thing, Greg Miller, the gentleman.
Maybe you don't understand how the vault works.
And then
The things that are that can be used against me don't read aloud on
I
a
guess
podcast.
you're right. I guess you're
Yeah,
right.
I don't
and then,
know a
be
lot
careful
about
and have
vaults.
fun. Words to live by for me. And you go, yeah, then you go, the love from...
It was good.
All
It
right, we
all-
want to watch this video really quick?
Sure, this is
Let me
Jen
see some saber.
sabering.
Let me
Does
see
that,
some
has anybody
saber.
ever heard of sabering?
Yeah.
I hadn't.
You didn't see that?
Jen said she could do it with a cell phone. Then she took this knife and stabbed the back of the screen.
Oh, no.
I accidentally stabbed. Yeah.
Is there audio?
Yeah, but it's just her going, whoo, whoo. All right, you ready? And then she does it. And then she just goes, okay.
You
So
need
this
to-
is-
Wait,
is
aren't
a-
you supposed to take the thing off?
You don't have to. Watch. Wow.
Oh,
That's
you
really
can't
cool.
drink that though, right?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can.
yeah, we drank the hell out of it.
It's
Yeah.
super clean. Yeah, there's no glass in it.
And then it comes back to real motion. She just looks at me and smiles.
Oh,
Oh,
something
I
hot
love
about
her.
That's
Watch
hot.
This
it,
is the
I'll
first
trip
video I
out.
had of her, so I watched it quite a bit.
Oh, yeah? Yeah? A little slow jerk action.
Did you try to time the geyser?
Well, that's
With
when I
your
broke out
geyser
DLC.
blast?
I put it
Nick,
on a
you
loop.
got a legit giggle out of Jen with that one. Like, that was a moment.
It was very high pitched.
But that was the thing, is that from the get-go with you, I knew it was different. And I think you did too.
Yeah, because I'm the first one who said I loved you.
Well, yeah, you're jumping ahead of the story, but I'm talking
How-
about in the texts in general.
Oh yeah.
You know, because like the texts go, then we have the first date. It goes smashingly. We go to hard water,
Smashing.
of course. We have photos. We went there with
talk about
the reception. We eventually stumble onto Nashville, which of course, again, beforehand, I didn't commit much of Jen to memory. So she says we've talked about Nashville at event somewhere else in this thing. And then we talk about like PAX when I hosted the panel. And she's like, oh yeah, it's like when we went to dinner there. And I'm like, when did we go to dinner?
Oh,
She's
I'll
like-
never fucking forget when we went to Gaucho's.
Yeah.
One of the meals that I
shit,
will
that was
never forget, where they
awesome.
took a steak and then they put a lobster on it, and
Yeah.
that was just how it came.
Remember when the waiter asked us if we wanted lobster on our steak, and it was like, "Yeah, waiter, yeah, we do."
I remember none of that. And she's like, the one where Nick Chester went home sick. I'm like, I remember that. And that's all I remember from that thing. I don't remember
that
you
was a
two being
different
there.
dinner.
Wait,
that was a different dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where
Okay,
did
I
we
don't.
go?
Oh, she wasn't at Gaucho's, was she?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, because it was this. Fuck, that's another PAX dinner I don't remember you at.
That's how hard love struck him. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's
Love
the thing,
struck.
though, is that then we take off the texting on stop. I know I'm gonna marry her. I'm trying not to come on too strong because I don't want to scare her off. You know what I mean?
Every time she turns around, you put a ring. You're trying to put that ring.
I haven't even met her in person on a romantic level yet, so no, that's not. You know what I mean? Then we had the first date. She mentions that she likes Nashville. I flip out about Nashville. I'm like, where? She's like, well, I just watched the season finale. I'm like, oh my god, what did you think? She starts going. I'm like, hold up. Apparently, you are not there. You are a season behind. They are keeping these from you. We immediately get the check and go home and watch Nashville.
Because in Canada we didn't have it.
Exactly. You had to see what was happening with Nashville or whatever. And then again, this is going so well. You're only in town until what? You're supposed to leave Friday morning.
Yeah.
This is Tuesday night. By the end of Wednesday night, I think I've convinced you to extend your stay. So you're gonna stay through Sunday, hang out, and then I think it was Saturday where I had the conversation beforehand of like, what are we doing? Clearly, we like each other a lot, but neither of us want to be in a long distance relationship again. That's stupid. That ends poorly.
Because
for
both of you
everybody.
were at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah. We
had been.
We had been, yeah.
Had been.
And so I was like, yeah, let's not do that. I agree, blah, blah, blah. So Sunday morning, I wake up, put her in a cab. She drives away. I burst into tears, come upstairs, cry into my pillow, literally like a teenage girl or like a teenage boy. I don't even mean like that, but just like crying there with Porty next to me. And I'm like, I've been divorced. This is the most upset I've ever been about someone leaving. And I've just met her. And I'm like, man, that's fucked up. So what do I
That's
do?
fucked up.
I get up, I pick up all my kind of funny fan mail cards, go to the coffee shop, make a sad playlist, a very emo playlist, sit there, fill them out, text Marty Sleva at like 9 in the morning. She left some ridiculous time. Like, whenever you get up, do you want to go to brunch? And he finally texted me back at like 1 o'clock. He's like, yeah, if you still want to. I'm like, yeah. Went there, ranted about how much I like Jen because he knew Jen from before too. And then finally she landed. And when she lands, we don't say it, but we're in a long distance relationship because we just never stop texting again. And so then we plan the Chicago trip and we do all this stuff. And Chicago trip is the whole lead up to Chicago. She keeps saying, which is a weird thing to say, she keeps saying, I don't know how I got so lucky. I don't know how this is happening. I keep waiting for you to tell me that this is all a joke or I'm dreaming or something. I'm like, that's a weird thing to say. I should be saying that, but okay. And so I come up with this dynamite idea, Tim, audience, Kevin, Nick, where what I'm going to do is we're going to go to Chicago, have a baller-ass fun weekend on the lake because we were going to W down there right there. It was summertime. We went stand-up paddling board. We knew that was going to happen. It was going to be great. But what my plan was, in my infinite wisdom, is have a great weekend. Then Monday morning, when we both go to the airport, where she's going international, I'm domestic, right? I get dropped off first, I assume, in this plan I have. I can amend it on the fly if I need to. But the plan is, this is me, like, as I'm flying to Chicago, my plan for leaving Chicago to be awesome, right? Is when I get out of the cab to open before I close the door, be like, and you're right, I don't like you, I love you. And slam the door and walk away. Walk away. Like, fucking nail it. You know what I mean? Like, so fucking dramatic. Own the moment.
I'm all about it.
I know you are. I know this is a Tim moment.
Moments, man. Moments are important.
Yep.
But okay,
But
keep
instead-
going. How did this go?
So instead, we land, we meet at the airport, we get in the cab, we get there, go up to the W hotel room, walk in, she
Sit
puts
by
her bags down,
yeah.
she turns around, she's like, so I love you. And I'm like, no! No, this was my cool. And I explained
Like
my
10
cool
minutes
moment.
in, yeah.
Yeah, I explained my cool moment that she
It's the
stole
thought
from
that
me.
counts, though.
I agree.
She knows.
But it was also like, hey, cool. Because I was very concerned about, coming on too strong. You don't want to go do this. You know what I mean? I don't want to scare her off because she's a small. She's a little.
She is a small.
She's very petite.
She's a little French
Le
baby.
petite mort.
And so
The little death.
Yeah, petite mort.
that's orgasm, right?
Hold on. How do you say that?
La petite mort.
Oh, man. I've been saying that wrong for a long time.
Trust me, if it's French, you've been saying it wrong.
That's true. That's
Period.
true.
Yeah.
But it's such
Just
a
like
fun
Viv
little
Clicquot.
thing. There's a song. You should look it up on YouTube. Le petite mort. But there's a T in it, so it's mort.
We don't say this.
Sorry. Keep going.
That's fine.
It's about orgasms.
I know. I'm aware.
Oh, cool.
So from there, it's just off to the races. That's the
Having
thing
orgasms.
of like, for how we were going to work this, getting married and being together forever. We knew early on that was the case, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was just like, there was never a. Like here's where the story gets boring to an extent. I feel.
Yeah.
Where it's just like
We
Not
had
for
to
us.
have a very
Not for me, too.
pragmatic approach. That's
Why?
the thing.
Well, because you guys, so obviously we know that you guys are. I mean, I don't know about Tim, but I knew you guys were dating each other. I knew you guys been seeing each other. It's a long distance thing. And then I remember I think we were I forget what conference we were at.
RTX.
Very early on. No, I think it might have been before that.
A
prior to
GameStop.
that. Yeah, GameStop. That's
Yeah, I
what it
remember
was.
this because I remember being on the rooftop.
Yeah, we're getting hammered on the rooftop at their like company party, and you were just like, I got to be honest, like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna marry this girl, and I'm like blown away by this because to me, like, I am the opposite of impulsive.
Yeah.
It took me 5 years to propose to my wife, and then we had a very long engagement, so I was like, holy crap! Like, I started getting anxiety. I'm like, I'm worried for you. I don't know.
Well, it's because you originally like, yeah, I understand that. I mean, we'll see how the next few years bring. And I'm like, no, we're gonna do it like immediately.
Yeah, and I was like,
Because that would have been September that we were talking
Yeah.
at
Probably
GameStop,
about that, yeah.
and it
We
was
filed in October.
We filed in October with the Department of Homeland Security.
God bless them. Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah, well, that was the problem. You know what I mean? The fact of our timeline would have been different
Yeah.
if you were in like another state and it
Yeah.
was easy to
Yeah,
come here and stuff.
for
and then,
sure.
You know what I mean? Like, well, whatever. We're together. We just want to be together.
Yeah, we didn't want to do a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
And like maybe to give some background to the impulsive side of everything, nobody in my family ever got married. So in my
How long have your parents been together?
30 years, in my familial
That's the secret
culture,
to the happy marriage, just to never get married.
but like I had never envisioned myself getting married. Like I knew nothing about dresses, nothing about rings. I had to start a Pinterest account to research those things.
That's how everyone learns, though.
But to me, when we talked about it initially, I think it was like 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
We talked about what do you think about not what do you think about getting married, but like overall, we knew right away it was the right decision because we knew we wanted to be together. And to me, I never doubted it. Like I knew I wanted to be with him, and that was the most pragmatic way to do it. Because we also tried. I mean, we looked at me getting a job here, but from a little visa background, a business and marketing person, it's super hard
Yeah,
to
it's really
immigrate in the
difficult.
States. I don't qualify for a work visa. And like the point was not, I want to work here. My point was, I want to be with him like as soon as possible.
And the whole thing was that then they own it, right?
yeah.
Right, so-
Also, if I went through work, they would own my status.
Right. So if they decided that you no longer worked there,
Yeah.
you would get
And if I don't have time
deported,
to-
rather, than
exactly.
exported.
If
They
I
would
do-
export you out of the country.
If I don't get enough time to adjust my status and I'm still on a work visa, Like they own me, so I just need to leave. So I would rather own my own visa and be with him immediately. Because like you get to an age. By the way, I'm not.
I made
12.
a joke once that she was 25.
Everybody thinks I'm in
truth.
my early 20s. I'm 29, and I've been into multiple relationships. One that was 8 years long, where I lived with him.
I just love it.
And then I dated multiple people, and I know who I am, and I know what I want. So when we met each
Greg
other,
Miller.
You want that game over, Greggy?
Yes.
so there was no doubt in my mind when
Sure.
we met and we fell in love. Like to me, it was the thing, you know.
Right.
And I was a super skeptic
Skeptic.
of relationships.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
with you, it was not
Sure.
a problem.
Well, and that was the thing for me in terms of like, I remember what I took away from my first marriage, right, was the fact of we were too young.
Way too young.
And we didn't know what we wanted. And I wanted IGN so much, video game journalism, or whatever you want to call it, more than that relationship. And I knew that, but I committed because we were in love, and that's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
And my takeaway I always talk about in podcasts and everything else about it was the fact of the next woman I would marry would be my number one priority.
Yeah.
And so that was the thing with you where we had those conversations of, if I need to go to Montreal and live with you, that's fine. We can do that. And there's Kind of Funny North, and there's some version of the morning show, and afterwards I stream or whatever. I do interviews up there, and I know we've talked about it before. Like we would make anything work if we had to make it work, and that's how the company
Thank
works.
God that shit didn't happen.
Exactly.
though.
But that was what
I was all talk. I'm there for my friend, but like, let's be real.
Yeah.
No, it's your number one priority. But I feel like having your wife be your number one priority is like the best thing, because then that makes your number two priority that much more important.
100%.
Right?
Like they go hand in hand, right? And
Yeah.
that was the conversation, I think, and the fact that what I'm doing here can support us while we figure out how to make this work for her.
You've been
and her
so
career.
much better since you met her here.
Oh my God,
Not
right?
that you've ever been bad.
No.
But it's just like you just care more.
Yeah.
You know, and not that like you've always cared so much.
I
but,
care in
like,
the right way.
Yeah.
The big thing, what I always said about it with Jen, and I'm talking about after, like, once we started dating, like just in those first things, is like, I couldn't believe the clarity it gave me, where we all work hard, but I'm the guy who has the hardest time turning it off. And when somebody in the comments wants to be a dick, or the Reddit wants to be really mean or whatever, I take that personally, and I sit there and stew and crank, and it'll ruin my entire day and night as I try to figure out what the best course of action is. Because you can't get in there and fight, because it is quicksand and you'll sink. But how do you make the changes or don't make the changes, blah, blah, blah. And like, I would get so ratcheted up to the fact of like with her, where it is she's the number one priority. It's like, well, I have a call to take, or this, or also the fact of like, this doesn't matter in the grand scheme of it, right? This is a day in the Kind of Funny timeline or whatever. And like, you want to talk about like knowing, I mean, like I obviously had known forever. We're way deep in the process, but like with everything that happened with Colin, like I gave you guys so much credit to go to PAX on your own without your significant other. Whereas for me, going to PAX right after the tweet and right after everything happened, and where it was pretty clear, I think, where we were going to end up going when we came back, with where Colin's head was at after having so many private conversations with him. But to go to PAX and be able to cry on her shoulder and be like, have my person there and have that person to vent to.
Well,
and
to be
talk
fair,
to.
Tim's my work wife. So
Sure, yeah,
So
I know.
we have
and
each
we were
other.
we were
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
staying in the same place together, so we were able to confide in each other.
But that was the
what we were
thing of just
feeling
like, of
as
like
well.
having her to be there and trust in and do all these different things
You're
with
my
and have
working
that be that
mistress.
thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, working mistress. I like that.
Yeah, that's more fun.
Well, him and Andy have a thing going on now too. So
You and
Yeah.
Andy have a thing?
Yeah.
How
Oh,
dare
Terry.
you?
Was it? Oh, a lot
Wait,
of
I have
called
an
it
Andy
out.
thing.
We all have an Andy.
Me and Andy
thing.
have a thing too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's our new sweet candy.
He is. He's
Oh
the
my
handy Andy.
goodness.
Candy
Sweet,
Andy.
I like
sweet
that.
new office candy.
Let's not call him that ever again.
No?
Andy Candy? Candy Andy?
Yeah. Let's
So yeah,
move on.
you always, I mean, you've become my
HR?
number one priority too,
Sure.
because one of the best kind of not symptoms, but kind of results of that is when I left my job, which I absolutely loved,
Yeah.
Square Enix Montreal. Patrick looked at
For
me.
life.
Yeah, I
Well,
left.
yeah, in spirit.
I gave them like a 2-month heads up
Yeah.
because I wanted to do just the transition properly, because my job was very central to the studio. When I said to Patrick that I was going to leave to be with you, he looked at me as like, that is so uncanny, because I've always been a diehard workaholic.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, this is so unlike of you, because I know you've always put your career first. And man, it must be serious as hell if you're making this decision, because you're a super work-oriented person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, Yeah. So he took me seriously immediately because I would never make that call.
Well, for me, the other thing that came back of like, because I know how fast this is moving. I know how crazy it seems.
11 months ago, I saw an image.
Yeah.
11
I know.
months ago,
Reddit had 11 months to
there's
how
the
to be
topic
single.
on GameOverGreggy show, how to be single.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just put LOL on the Reddit when I saw
So
it go up.
good.
It's insane.
But I understand like an outsider's perspective on that. And
Oh my
da-da-da.
God, yeah. I would have been the first one to be like, slow down, girl. This
Yeah,
is
exactly.
really fucked up. It's quick.
Yeah, but like for me, what kept coming back and what I found so amazing was the comparison, and not immediately, but the comparison to Mike and Darshell. If you remember when we had them on the GameOverGreggy show, Filthy Casual, Mike and Darshell, we did a topic about them and how in love they are. And I remember them being like, "Oh, thanks for saying that." We get that all the time. People stop us in airports, strangers, and say all these different things. And from the moment we got going, that happened to us. It was text messages from people I haven't talked to in years. They're just like, "Hey man, glad you found someone. Like I can see in these posts what you're like, you know what I mean? Like you've always been happy, but like this is on another level. There's a spark there. There's a difference in you. I see it in your content. I see it in this, but I see it in your photos, like how happy you make each other."
Or people stopping us on the street.
Right.
Like being like, hey, lovebirds, or like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like Hank at the airport.
Yeah.
Ran into this guy Hank at the airport. He was coming back to where he was going to we were in Vancouver. He was
Yeah.
going to Montreal.
Dallas? No, he was going back
They
to
were
the
coming back
States.
from Kansas. No, they were coming back
Oh,
from Kansas.
okay.
Old man Hank saw us start canoodling and making out a little bit there while we were waiting. Now, granted, it's our 5 minutes before we have to go. We're trying to figure out an apartment. Like, I have to go to my flight. She has to go to her flight. And he's like, "Oh, knock that off." I'm like, "Ah."
And I started freaking out because the video of the two people making out and the lady freaking out had just come out, when she's attacking those two people kissing. And I'm like, "Oh no, this is happening to us."
You
and
seen
he
this
was,
one
Oh
recently?
no, I haven't seen this.
Oh, it's
What is
so
this?
good. Oh my God. Kevin, can you make a note that we put it in the comments or
It's
something or in the description?
Santa Monica. It's the Pokeball.
Yeah, it's a
place.
Pokeball. It goes on for like 10 minutes of this woman
Yeah.
like, he's having sex with this slut. Or they were just like kissing and he's filming her like, we weren't doing that. We're just.
And then she just proceeds to attack everybody in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Physically?
Verbally.
No, one
and
guy
one
eventually
guy at
attacks
the
her.
end,
And that
yeah.
was like, here it is, yeah.
I'm not gonna put it on.
Yeah, okay, then just don't show it because it's not good
Yeah.
content
Yeah.
for anybody else. Anyways, though, yeah. Like,
There
and
was
then
one time walking down the street when some guy looked at Gia and said, "Damn, look at that ass."
Oh, God.
So that's the closest I ever
Sorry
got.
Did you
about
say
that.
anything?
I apologize
Yeah,
for
no,
that already. It's
It's a
it was
compliment.
As long as it
To
happened.
you?
Did you
I'm
say anything?
joking. No, that didn't
Yeah.
really happen.
What would you
No.
do in that situation?
Upset that happened?
Yeah.
I don't
Just
know.
grab a
I
handful of it and
probably
walk?
just- No, I'd probably just be like, all right,
Yeah, okay.
just keep
Yeah, it's no
walking.
point in it.
Anyways, Hank was just some old guy who
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, and we've been married 63 years, blah blah." And then he handed me a piece of paper because he heard we were getting married, and it was his boarding pass from his last flight that he drew a pyramid of, and it was him, her, and then at the top God, and he's like, "In your marriage, the closer you get to God, the closer you get to each other." I was like, "Thank you, Hank."
Hey, thanks, Hank. You selling propane and propane accessories? All right.
But yeah, so then, I mean, we were doing it quietly for a long time. I think
Yeah.
one of the reasons we didn't announce anything was the fact
It
that
was my job mostly.
there was that, but there was no timeline either,
Yeah.
which was the really cumbersome part because it was like,
you want everyone to be like, so when's it happening? What's going on? Yada yada.
well, you fought. Because it was the filing of if we get rejected. I mean, we had to go back multiple times to the Department of Homeland Security with new paperwork and new
Yeah,
things
boy,
and all
you guys, those were some of the details that you shared with me. That sounded like a real fun experience. Just that whole.
That's a whole other
that
topic.
whole basket of
yeah.
puppies.
I mean, it was just the waiting that sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was like a month turnaround of like they'd get it, and then a month later you'd get some kind of response. And like there was a time where it was, we sent in the initial thing. Okay, I remember calling. And like we just mailed it. I was like, oh fuck, because they update you. And then we got it back, and I was like, oh, we need more information. You send that in. It's another month. Okay, and I think they need a little bit more information after that.
Yeah,
And then they
add
sent back
additional
and,
evidence.
and I called in to get the update, and it was like we've sent back this form, and you Google that form, and it could be you're approved, or it could be a million other things. And there was a million other things that were like right before approval. So it was just back and forth and not knowing you're firing into the government. Not to mention, we filed this in October. Then
Right
in
before the
November,
elections.
Trump gets elected, and it is like,
yeah.
I'm going to crack down on immigration. You're like, what exactly does that mean? Like, I
Yeah.
know you want the wall, but are you going to just say, or is it going to be one day, like, no more visas, I'm going to figure this out? And like, it was anarchy every day of like, what the fuck's really going to
Yeah.
happen? Like, we didn't know what's going on and stuff. So there was like that hanging,
Yeah.
what's going to go on, what's
How
going
many
on.
times do they call? They're just like, I just want to hear you talk. Just say things.
What?
None?
What?
Me or the government?
The guys to her. I just like hearing her talk.
Oh.
Oh, here's what I wanted to do this earlier. What you know how when somebody calls somebody like he's goat, you know that?
Greatest of all times?
One of the cutest things she does is say all times. I love that. That's the best.
It's okay. Kevin refers to the Excite Bike level in Mario Kart as Excite-A-Bike. And he did it. He's doing it as a joke, but at first he really
thought it was Excite-A-Bike.
It was Excite-A-Bike.
I mean, I just said Excite-A-Bike.
I'm going to be honest with you. Growing up, the NES game, it was Excite-A-Bike in my heart.
Hey, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
You know?
What
I still
is
say
it?
sandwich.
That might be
Gets me all
why.
excited.
I don't know.
And so I mean that was the whole thing. People, I thought it was interesting in all the Instagram posts that have gone up that are like, it's an honest question. Why aren't you wearing rings?
Oh yeah.
It was that whole thing of like, here, the way it went is that we filed in October. No, I guess we filed in October. Then you came to visit in November for Hunter and Alexis's wedding, right?
Yeah.
We went to that reception thing they did down there. Yeah, I think I'm getting this right.
The day before.
Yeah, no, you weren't there for that, right?
Yeah, that food park thing?
We went to something else downtown for some reason, and then we left that and we went to the jewelry mall, that tower of jewelry stores or whatever, knowing nothing. Walked in there.
I was super overwhelmed.
I didn't know what's going on. Finally, one guy made eye contact from a random store. We went in there and talked to him for a while. He gave us a whole bunch of information on like what an engagement ring should look like. Then we left and went to Olive Garden because you wanted to go to Olive Garden.
Because I had never been.
All you can eat
When you're there.
soup and salad.
It was
yeah.
so salty.
Breadsticks.
Oh, breadstick. Yeah, okay, you're right.
Sorry.
The salad
I
was
think it's
so
pick
salty.
one or the other. I think it's soup or
salty.
salad.
Yeah.
Super salad. I
That's
thought you were
ev-
saying it was all you can eat, but that's only from November to
The thing about Jen
January.
is
I would
everywhere
know, 'cause
she
last
eats in
time I tried to go to
America,
a fucking Olive Garden. I couldn't get a table there. It was like a 50-minute wait.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Olive Garden.
everything she
I
eats in America is
apologize.
too salty.
Everything is so salty
Yeah.
or sweet.
You get used
like
to
you
it.
guys have.
We
no
went to
in-between
Nopa and I
taste.
was like, "You're gonna like Nopa," and she's like, "This is so salty." And then she did the thing though where she's like, "Eat the steak, take a piece of steak," and I took a piece, and he's like, "Can you taste the meat?" And I was like, "Fuck, I've never thought of it this way."
That's how you know they seasoned it correctly. If
Oh
it just
my
tastes like
God.
salt and pepper.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Crazy.
perfect. And
It's like
garlic.
there are so many more spices in the world.
Nah, salt. That's all we care about.
But then we were always together for short periods of time. Like we did like, a few weeks, but it was like, all right, we're going to go see your parents.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. Like we're going to New Orleans with Eric Castro. Like it was never like we had, all right, we're going to be in one place for a week and a half
Yeah.
or whatever, where it would make sense to go to a jewelry store, talk to somebody.
Exactly.
You have somebody designing a ring for you
Yeah.
right now. You want something different. Like,
So here's my question for you guys then. Is this the first time you guys have been together for an extended period of time where there's no end in sight?
No,
I mean that in a positive
well,
way.
no end.
No,
Yeah.
and I always, because of my travel, I always have to have an
You
end.
have to keep going back?
I always know when I'm traveling back. But the longest time we spent together was when I took 3 weeks off last year to go on 1 week vacation with my sister in Hawaii, and then we spent 2 weeks together.
Yeah.
And then
we did 2
Christmas
weeks.
time.
Yeah, Christmas
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Is it different or does it feel exactly
It's
the same?
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same. It still feels
It's
that
better because I don't have the anxiety of I need to leave.
Gotta
and
go.
then-
there is that
Yeah.
impending.
Yeah.
It still feels like it's going to
Yeah.
end, which
Yeah.
is weird. And granted, I'm going to Raleigh on Sunday, and then I'm going to LA for a
No,
week
but
after
that's,
that.
Yeah, but that's
different though,
good.
because that
But
shit
those
ends
are-
with Gia. I had that problem where
Yeah.
it wasn't not problem, but when she left for 2 years or a year and a half for school, there was always that like, oh fuck, she's leaving.
Yeah.
So it was like a great week and a half, and then she had to go back. But then once we moved in together, like for the first month, I'd say it always felt like it was gonna end. Like it
Well-
always felt like, oh fuck, when do we need to
Yeah.
ship you back off?
See, that's
and I
so
was like,
funny.
oh fuck, you're never leaving.
Well, Sunday before
I'm
the
never
wedding,
sleeping again.
we got married on Monday, and Sunday I'm like, I got overwhelmed by travel anxiety. I'm like, oh God, I gotta check in for my flight. I gotta pack my stuff. I gotta leave. And then I'm laying in bed, and I'm like, no, I don't. This is really weird. It's like this school anxiety of, oh God,
finals are coming up.
the
Yeah,
finals are coming, and I think it's gonna stick for a while. Like Gia said, it did.
Yeah,
stick for
no,
a while.
I honestly I think it was about a month and a half,
Yeah.
and then it goes away, and then it's just like then it's just normal.
Today, it's finally struck me of what, like, yesterday we moved from the old apartment studio into our new fucking awesome apartment that I can't wait. We're trying to put together as fast as possible. I have people over because it's amazing. But like in it, I'm enjoying it, and it's awesome, and like it's just great to be together and have our own space, and we're building this life. You know what I mean? But like in the bathroom today, like there's the dual vanities and this awesome shower and this awesome tub and like marble everywhere. It's amazing, right?
There is no
Is it one-
marble.
How's the shower?
It's awesome.
Slate, maybe.
Yeah.
Is there 2 shower thingies?
No, just one.
Damn it.
But it's got fucking power.
Oh yeah, there's so
It's
much
blasting
pressure.
the poop out of my butt. You know what I mean?
Love it.
You ever
No,
get that
it's
caked
not.
on poop
yeah,
in
you
the
gotta fucking
crack?
scrape that peanut butter out of that thimble.
God damn.
Holy fuck!
Anyways,
Hold on. Thimble.
Gets tight, bro.
What's the symbol?
don't worry. Don't just keep moving. Don't listen. Keep pooping
Just
and keep
keep
moving.
on pooping.
I want to know what's the word in
A thimble
French.
is a
Thimbles the
it's
thing
a
you
little
put on
thing
your
sew.
pinky when you sew.
so you don't poke yourself.
What do you
I
call
guess
it?
you put it on
Oh,
your
the-
thumb, maybe.
which
Undi?
is like a
That's a thimble.
dice. Yeah. Okay.
But it struck me today of like what like there's this apartment's great, but there's something to it that feels familiar. What is it? And it dawned on me that it feels like a baller ass Airbnb. because the apartment's that great and smells brand new and it's like awesome. And I'm like, what am I?
And sex is more fun
It
for
feels
some
like
reason.
exactly because I'm not gonna clean it. That's
yeah.
just
That's how
the
sex
bed's
is
already
the best.
broken.
Yeah.
No, that's just because we moved it improperly, but no
Oh,
big deal.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but it's like, yeah, it's awesome right now.
That's
Everything's
fantastic.
fantastic right now. Life's great. Thank you for coming. Thanks for marrying me.
Thanks for importing.
No problem.
The Canadian
Yeah.
goods.
So, I mean, we still need to get you a ring. I still need to get a ring. But originally our plan was we were going to do the courthouse wedding, then do a quote unquote formal wedding
Yeah.
later on with like the whole deal.
Yeah.
But now we keep talking about how great the first wedding was.
Yeah,
Because
I
the
don't
wedding
know
was
how we're gonna
fucking
top it
awesome.
off.
The wedding was awesome. I'm putting up all sorts of photos and linking
looks
stuff
great.
out, but
You
it's
can
like,
maybe invite your friends.
That's the thing, right?
oh, we
Dude,
got
guys,
now for the
just
record.
don't.
For the record, we got fucked over in the way of when you go. I'm gonna keep going. This is gonna be a longer topic. Whatever.
No, end
Yeah.
the show. And
Yo,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, good. Then we just keep talking about us.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
I love a show
It'll
about
be
me.
1 through 4.
All right, great. When you go online to book your San Francisco courthouse wedding, you go through and you have to get the marriage license. You book an appointment for that, and then you book an appointment for the ceremony. And when you book an appointment for the ceremony, it is like very clear. Hey, heads up, you guys come to get married, and you can have 6 people. That's it. No more.
The other ones, the extras would get escorted out by the sheriff's
Exactly.
deputy.
They're like, you cannot have more people here. You cannot do this. We're like, oh shit, all right, cool. And like, by our count, including Sean, Shark Finnegan, of course, came to take photos.
He likes hiking.
He loves hiking. It was going to be the fact that, all right, cool, but like my dad's wife, we're gonna have to ask to stand wherever they tell you to stand. You know what I mean? She was like, oh, I don't care. I totally get it, right? And then we got there, meet the judge or whatever, and the judge, you were like, so we have 1 extra person. He's like, what do you mean? It's like the website says 6, but we have 7. He's like, you can bring 400 people. I don't care. And we're like, fuck! God damn it!
They would have
Yeah.
cared though.
I would've
if you had brought 30 people.
If you
it
brought
would've been a problem.
400 people.
you know what I would have done? Meet and greet wedding.
Yeah, that's exactly
Bring your ass on Monday to San Francisco courthouse.
So we got married in the same courthouse, my wife and I, and we got married on one of the balconies. We had to actually like pay per chair.
Yeah.
Of people that had to come.
Yeah, see, ours was just standing around.
Yeah.
No, that's- But
What's
like
that?
did you rent out the place or?
No. You
have to book the
You book
area.
it by appointment, so you get like an hour.
You can also rent it at night.
Yeah, you can do. I mean, yeah, you can do a function in there. But we booked just that specific balcony because we,
Yeah.
we walked around.
Yeah,
we liked
yeah.
the balcony because we thought it was cool. And we were like, hey, we want to bring. I think we had 14 people just come to the ceremony itself.
Sure.
And then we had chairs set up for them, and each chair was like $50 or something
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh.
Okay, maybe it wasn't that much, but it was. You had to pay to have them lay them out, and then you have like an hour there. And so we were like, no, everyone just meet us at the reception. So we only had close family and friends watch us actually get married, and then everyone else was just getting shit bombed at the reception already.
Which is the fucking way to do
was
it,
the
man.
biz nom.
That wedding was awesome.
Yeah.
You just fucking go
You're
to
like-
the reception and party.
It's just.
And I think you guys are doing it right. I don't think you need to do the whole.
You don't need to
We've
do the whole
talked about
thing.
throwing a cool party.
Yeah.
Like, what if we threw a
Ball-ass
baller ass party
party
in Montreal?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, come up. Here's
That
the
sounds
hotel
awesome.
block.
Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're her families.
No, at that point, if you're gonna make me go somewhere, I want you to watch you get married.
You don't want to come up to Montreal.
you're
First
already
off, think about it this way, Big Kev Dog. You're gonna go up there. It's an easy sell. Let's say we do a fall party of next year. The leaves are changing color. There's a whole bunch of new shit to see. You bring Paula Bear up there. You're telling me Paula Bear's not gonna like this?
Your money's
Probably
is worth
Twice as
twice as
powerful?
much.
Well, yeah.
It's true.
Poutine.
Man, we were in Vancouver.
There's
I
this
was
place
like,
where you throw axes.
I'll take 2 hamburgers.
All right, you won me over.
Right?
We're gonna go to the axe
I'm
throw
te-
place.
Fuck yeah, we will. Yeah, you kidding me? Now they don't. They tell you you have to sign a waiver saying you didn't drink beforehand. They don't breathalyze you. Let me tell you from the horse's mouth. So you're fine. You just
You're
get in
not
there.
supposed to say that.
They can't try me. I'm over here. Try to
Exfiltrate? No.
no.
Expedite? No.
That's what I got hung up on.
Deport?
No.
Extradite.
Extradite. Try to
Thank you.
extradite me. I dare you, axe throwing place. In
Pretty sure we have
Montreal.
a really good relationship with Canada. I think we extradite people all the time. That's why people don't go hide in
They're
Canada
not
anymore.
coming from you. They got no.
We have to hide in other places like Mexico.
But yeah,
Actually,
so
we
it
have
should
pretty
just
good
be a big
relationship
party.
with them,
Well, our wedding was great.
It's
Yeah.
not
So
really
because we didn't even
used to
we talked about getting engaged and stuff like that. We didn't talk about the wedding and stuff.
Yeah.
Wedding was awesome.
Yeah, my
I
vote-
cannot get over how great our wedding was.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
My vote. You guys just throw a badass
Yeah.
thing. You go away for a second. Someone announces you guys. You walk in. You
Sure.
do a fun dance. Everyone
I'll
that's
plan
fucking
your
party.
entrance. Don't worry. It'll be
Thank you.
fucking great.
Thank you.
How much money do I have to spend on the LED walls?
I don't know. Depends.
Cool.
Who's sponsoring it?
Who's buying tickets?
DiGiorno.
DiGiorno pizza. Oh my
Okay.
god, yes. I
Here
love
did your
this.
wedding.
A DiGiorno wedding.
We can't let what's his name got
Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Dan
Taco Bell.
Reichert.
Dan Reichert got
Yeah.
Taco Bell. We can't let that stand. We have to get DiGiorno.
I'm so proud of
What
you.
about a Tim Hortons
right.
wedding?
A what? A Tim Hortons wedding? Fuck
Not
yes.
too bad. Tim Hortons, you listening?
We went to Vancouver. My wife's like, "What the fuck? Who the fuck is Tim Hortons? And why is he everywhere?" And I'm like, "It's like Canadian Starbucks,
like
except
a
they have Starbucks
Dunkin'
also. It's very
Donuts.
hard.
It's their Dunkin' Donuts.
It's Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah.
exactly. But no, the wedding was great. So the idea was you brought in your mom and sister.
Mm-hmm.
I brought in my mom,
I have to
my
pee. Does
dad,
anyone
his
need
wife.
anything?
I'm good.
No,
Okay, I'm
good.
good. On this.
In Poe. Everybody knows Poe. Longtime fans know Poe. He's been in the show lately with the backyard wrestling talk and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And it didn't dawn on me how awesome that would be for a while of having everybody together, because it was cool to have them around. You know, people started rolling in Friday. Saturday, the rest of them came in. Went to a dinner Saturday. That was lovely. Sunday, went up to Napa. Did a wine bus, which I had never done before. That was fun.
Like we had our personal short bus.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds
That's
horrible.
right. Personal short bus. We had cheese on it. We had a whole bunch of wines on it. Portillo was allowed to come.
Yeah.
He was very excited.
He was
Oh, he
having
was
such a
allowed
good
to.
time.
He was
yeah.
allowed to come. Yeah.
He was having a blast.
But then Monday we were going to get married, and it turns out there's not much for me to do on the morning of my wedding, because like she's got to get ready and do all this different stuff. I just bum around. I had to go to Nordstrom's. I got a shirt.
Yeah.
I was walking out of Nordstrom, saw a jewelry store, and I remember, probably should do something special for her. It's this day. Bought her this thing.
Oh,
Did all this-
okay.
'cause she doesn't even have a
An
ring.
Infinity
Right?
Stone.
It's an infinity symbol, yeah, with some stones in it. But we can call it infinity stone. I don't
Infinity
think quite that big. And then eventually Shark Finnegan calls me,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, I'm coming over to take the photos." I'm like, "Great." And he's like, "Problem though, it's gridlocked and a bunch of streets are shut down. We're all staying at the W downtown because it's close to City Hall. It'd be easy. I want everybody in one central location."
And we're all standing in the lobby waiting to leave.
Right. Well, we're getting ready to.
Yeah.
He calls me. He's like, "I'm just going to go to City Hall because I'm not going to be able to get to you in time and then get to the wedding at 2." And he's calling me at like 12:50. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Let's get everybody else." Or not. Yeah, 12:50. I'm like, "Let's get everybody downstairs." I try to rally troops, get them down there. We get them down there. And then I walk out to Third, and Third's just closed. And it's jammed. It's gridlock on Howard. And I look up at Market, and there's all these protesters walking down Market. And it's the May Day protest that I did not know was happening. And I was like, holy fuck, shit. Like, everybody getting Ubers. We get an Uber. I talked to the WP. I'm like, do you guys have those cars? Sometimes hotels, people, they have the cars. They can just take you. Like, no. They're like, you should walk up and take Bart. And I'm like, that's a bridge too far for me right now. Her in this beautiful wedding dress, her awesome Converse shoes, me in my awesome Converse shoes. I'm not going to do this. You know what I mean? So, order these Ubers. The Ubers come, climb in them.
We split.
Yeah, she goes with her family in Poe. I go with my family. I have her cell phone in my pocket, so I'm sending messages to Poe that are being communicated to her. And like, it's just like fucking a nightmare.
Shout out to my Uber driver though, Gurnam.
Shout out to
He
Gurnham.
Gurnham, what up?
did so many illegal things to get me there.
Big fan.
I got in on the front seat with my dress and my bouquet, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, this is my personal mission today," and he got me there.
Moments, man.
Yeah.
Now, in a similar vein, let's take a moment to curse our Uber driver from a week earlier, where on Thursday, my birthday, we went to pick up my marriage license from the house, book my Uber. We go downstairs, we climb into the Uber. Uber goes. He hit, the thing goes, "Now you're going to City Hall." And the guy looks at it and he goes, "No, don't do it. And we're like, "What?" He's like, "You're going to City Hall. Don't get married." And we're like, "Bro, we're going there to get our marriage license." He's like, "I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm so," and I'm like, "No, it's funny. We have that sense of humor, but man, what not a good time. What an inopportune moment to make that joke, asshole."
What a bad thing to say.
Yeah.
Probably never gonna make that joke
So
again.
meanwhile, my Uber driver, we all just look like we're dressed to the nines. You know, what I mean, there's no easy way to look at a dude and be like, "Oh, you're getting married" or whatever. So he's just driving fine. He's doing fine, just not being crazy. But I'm going back and forth with Poe, where I'm like, if we get to 9th and we still can't take a right, we have to bail out there and walk across this protest holding hands. I'm like, they're nice protesters. You know what I mean? They're doing it for the right reasons. They'll see what's happening and let us go. But then I'm trying to figure, they're a block down still, and I'm trying to figure out how we're going to meet up and do all this sort of shit. Finally, the protest abruptly stops. That's good enough for us or whatever. But I'm talking to Shark. Shark's like, "I'm there, but the protests are here." I'm like, "Fuck, blah, blah, blah." We get there. We're a little bit late, but it doesn't matter because it's City Hall. Nothing runs well. You know what I mean? Get there. Meet up with everybody, go through, get the thing, sign the paperwork, sign the license, do all this cool shit, meet the judge. He's nice, has a British accent, which I think is weird for an American judge.
Did you do it?
No, I did not do the oi. No, please. Here's the thing. I would not dare fuck with the judge who's about to marry me. Shout out to Sean Finnegan again, though. So he's like, the way it works is like the judge signs your marriage license, and then he's like, "Cool, where do you want to get married?" Shows us the map. He's like, "I'll meet you there. I'm going to do 4 other people," and then just go boom, 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 and finish them all. I'm like, "Okay, great." So we go over there. We're taking photos. Sean, amazing photographer. For the real, like when we were like, we're getting married, we want a photographer. I'm like, it's got to be Sean. I love Sean's work. I always forget. I was telling people afterwards, I always forget, like, when Sean is like doing not candids, when he's doing like a pose thing, like when he does like the kind of funny photos we take or whatever, I forget how good he is at telling you exactly what to do and like totally not worrying about your feelings or what you want. And I was like, so like when we're waiting for the judge to come and Sean's like, all right, sit there. Greg, lean back a little bit more. All right, perfect. Move this hand, do this. All right, you know, like we're just his puppets. But he makes great looking photos. I'm like, awesome. Not everybody's used to that, it turns out, though. So Judge shows up. I'm like, oh, shit, it's time. We stand up. We go over there. Judge walks up. He's like, do you want your family up here? And we're like, yeah. And Sean immediately is like, okay, family. We need a half circle behind them. Judge, you're going to be down here. You guys are up there. And like there's stairs. And the judge's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You want me to be here and them behind me? And Sean's like, yeah. And he's like, there's a judge who's already a short guy. He's like, I'm going to look so short. And Sean just looks him in the eye. The camera just looks him in the eye and goes, you don't matter. Family up here, blah, blah. And the judge is just like, oh, fucking all right. I was like, please
Flash
just
forward 6 months from now when Sean has a speeding ticket and that's the judge. Oh, who does it matter now, motherfucker?
Yeah, exactly.
Sean
exactly.
Finnegan.
But Sean destroyed it. Did a great job. We did a whole bunch of courthouse photos, and then we wanted 2 interstitials of photos in places important to us. So first stop, of course, was Wing Wings. Went to Wing Wings. Wing Wings not open on Mondays, as you know.
Yeah.
Not open on Tuesdays, but that doesn't matter for the story. Not open on Mondays. Christian, the owner, the homie, family.
The homie.
I put up a whole Instagram sappy post about how much Wing Wings means to me. It is a home away from home here in San Francisco. And he opened it for us. It was just him. He cooked for us. We took a whole bunch of photos with us, did all stuff, showed my dad around. You know, #1 crane operator Greg Miller had a bunch of questions about running a business. Showing mom around, giving us all this free beer and stuff. We didn't give any money, I realized after the fact. Gave everybody t-shirts, did all this stuff. Christian's fucking awesome. If you're going to Kind of Funny Live 3, go in and see him. Not just because, as always, I've said Wing Wings is great, but they are family and they were amazing. The photos there are my favorite ones from the wedding. Just
They're so good.
so us, you know what I mean?
So good.
Because
And
that was
we're
our
so relaxed too because we just came back from the wedding.
yeah,
so
everything's
everybody's
done,
super
right?
chill.
And that was the thing is I never thought about it when we were setting it up that it was like, all right, cool. Now it's our reception and this is appetizers. And it never dawned on me that's what we were doing until we were there drinking out of we poured beers, Dale's Pale Ale and the Los Gigantes into these like fine crystal engraved things my mom got us, and she was totally down with it or whatever.
That's awesome.
I love the chicken wing sauce on the boobs.
Yeah, nice job.
Classy move.
But that, you know, that's where we went on our third date. It's one of those like obviously means so much to me, but that's something that I think means something to Jen in our relationship and the fact that I shared that so early with her of like what that place means to me. And I'll never forget taking her the first time she was drunk. She's like, I want Wing Wings. We were with some friends. We went there. And she's like, what do you get here? I'm like, I usually get buffalo regular, and I toss garlic on there, and I toss bacon on there if I'm feeling crazy, and I'm feeling crazy tonight. But it might be too hot for you. Don't do that. And she's like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We ordered that, sat down. Again, I'm drunk. So I just crush my wings, and I finally look over, and she's got like one done and one shaking with a bite out of it. I'm like, is it too hot for you? She's like, I'm fine. And I'm like, we can get you anything. I know these people. We can get you different. She's like,
wash them off.
no, I'm gonna finish them.
I didn't want to waste any food, so I ate all of them.
And you had the fiery poops afterwards,
Yeah.
and you were definitely too hot for that.
The shower and then the thimble. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. The shower and the thimble. So it was cool to do that, have that, but then there was a moment where like I'm being a dick. Again, back to shouting out Sean Finnegan, how great he is, the shark. In the way that you know how I am, you know how I am, everybody knows how I am. This had been a secret killing me. The number of tweets I deleted leading up to it of like kind of teasing something, but then like, no, I don't want to do that. That's not what it's about, obviously. But I'm so excited. I want to express that. I want to express to all my best friends. Like, I was like, when we were starting to take photos, I was like, can you start taking some with my iPhone too? Sean had 2 cameras. Take some with my iPhone. I want to put something up today saying that we did this, that we had this life moment. And Sean's like, well, with this camera, I can just, you know, it becomes a hotspot and I can send them to my phones and I can edit them on here and give. I'm like, oh my God, that'd be fucking awesome. He's like, I'll do it in the car on our way to Wing Wings. Doesn't work. The app fucking shits the bed. Nothing's working. You know what I mean? And so we get there, like Sean's setting up to take photos there, and it was like, can I just try one more time? Can I try? I'm like, I know it's not you. Let's try to make the camera still didn't work. And I'm like, fuck. He's like, sorry, man. I should have brought a laptop unless you have a computer. I'm like, I don't, but Wing Wings does. And I'm like, hey, Christian, can we use your computer? He's like, yeah, of course. And he went back there, and Sean popped out the card and did it, and went through and showed us photos, and we picked selects and and then he put them on his phone. He's editing them, blah. And then I was like, eventually, I was like, awesome. I know I just made you do that, but can you stop doing that and start taking more photos here? Because it finally dawned on me of like, I'm in my happy place in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. I have my parents here who are never together. I have my best friend here. I have her family here from Montreal. Like, this is and like everyone's talking to each other. Like to see my dad talk to Christian about what it's like to run. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Of worlds.
Right? Yeah. This is never something I thought would be a thing. You know what I mean? And Sean took amazing photos of that, and it was this awesome moment for us, for me, you know what I mean, all these different things. And then we went from there to Hard Water, another place in the Embarcadero we talk about all the time or whatever, that Colin lost favor with when they switched over to being seafood. That I love them more, that they're more seafood. They still have awesome fried chicken too, and they put more of their southern dishes back on there. I digress. We walk in though. That's where we went on our first date. They reserved the bar for us. They reserved our stools where we had our first date, so we got to sit at those stools and be surrounded by our family. And they gave us free bourbon.
They were so great.
They were awesome. They made us awesome cocktails.
That's awesome.
As soon as we got there, a guy came up to me and was like, "Hey, congratulations, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks so much." And then they were like, "Deshaun, like, you want to come behind the counter and take photos and like all this different stuff that normally doesn't get to happen." And so that was just fun. I knew that'd be great, and I knew Wing Wings would be great, and I knew City Hall would be great, and then dinner's over at Water Bar next to Epic Steakhouse. The one thing I didn't ever plan out in my head, thinking about how amazing this would be, and like what a special moment this would be, and what like literally once in a lifetime moment this would be, was that when we finished in Hard Water, we said goodbye to Sean because it's time for him to go home. He can knock off. You know what I mean? He doesn't take photos of everything. And the Water Bar's close enough where I turned to everybody. I'm like, is everybody down to walk? Like, it's like a 10-minute walk. It's not that
Beautiful,
bad.
yeah.
Down the Embarcadero. It's like getting close to sunset. It's a beautiful sunny day out. Super hot this week it's been. You know what I mean? It was beautiful out. And everybody's like, yeah. And so we just had this train of people walking, led by Jen and myself, or Jen and her family, and me in my suit, and her in her wedding dress, and her in her bouquet. And for a while, I'd be behind her with Poe or my mom or whatever, and then be with her or whatever. But this is Embarcadero. If you're not familiar with San Francisco, like, a touristy stretch along the bay, an amazing view of the Bay Bridge and all this stuff. And the cars that would slow down and honk and scream congratulations, the people that would stop and say hi and congratulations and keep going. It was like such an amazing moment, let alone to be walking behind Jen and see people like do the double take and walk and stop and like, oh, and like talk to each other, not to us even. It was just like, what a fucking awesome thing for us to do and like have this moment and like thank God you wore the Converse. You bought your first pair of Converse high tops.
I love that. I didn't catch that until I think the last picture I saw of you guys where you were, well, I guess you were all cuddling all the pictures, but yeah, I saw those the Converse peeking out when you were on the stairs, I think, and I was like,
was such a great idea.
Clutch.
Yeah.
That's
and
smart.
they had those amazing pink mesh ones that kind of looked like a dress fabric. It was great.
Yeah. But yeah, went to a Water Bar. Had a lovely dinner. Got a whole bunch of oysters. Too many oysters, as you do. I had to talk Jen out of getting. Yeah, they were. I had to talk Jen out of getting the giant seafood platter for herself.
I wanted it so bad.
She went and got a petite one instead.
Which I didn't finish.
Yeah, so I was right.
Good call.
Strong call.
Good call.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That would have just been a waste of money.
Yeah.
At that point, you could have just thrown it back into the sea. At that point,
You guys have been talking about this wedding for so long,
Yeah.
and like there's been so much just updates and will happen, won't happen in terms of logistics.
When is it going to happen? Is always
Exactly.
been the big thing.
So I've always just been out, oh, cool, it's happening. It's happening. Like to me, it's been happening since like November.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like you kept talking about your plans, and
Yeah.
you're just like, yeah. So we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. But it hits the point where it's like it kind of just goes over my head.
Yeah.
Where you're just talking, and I'm like, cool, it's gonna happen. I know it's this weekend. Cool. Sunday comes along, and I text like, congrats to you guys. I'm excited for you. Whatever. Totally thinking you're getting married on Sunday, and then on Monday, you start posting all the things. I'm like, huh. Man, because on Monday Bernie was here,
Yeah.
and I was like, I gave you the text of like, hey, like Bernie's gonna be here. We're gonna do the show without you. Don't worry, it's all good. Totally kind of giving you the bait of like, if you want to come in and do it, you could. Because like I thought that was just you're just taking the day off.
Sure.
It's like not a honeymoon, but like a Monday.
Chill
moon or
out.
whatever.
Yeah. Which we did not do and needed drastically
We
turned out.
packed boxes.
Yeah. Anyway, but it was just so funny because I was like, I was so off about the whole thing, and then now it's done.
Well,
Now
I mean,
you
that's
are
the thing
married.
is the whole thing has been so incremental that I think it really snuck up because it was that thing of I remember when we finally were like, all right, cool, it's going to be this weekend. It's going to be May 1st. We'll have the family and putting that on the calendar, and then like, I think life moves so much quicker as you get older, I feel. And that's, I remember my parents always saying that it's going to go faster and faster and faster. And the thing, especially with us, I find about how fast our life goes, where you go, remember that we did the podcast where I was like, well, remember in February, this comes out, you guys are like, it's March, like it's gone. That's done. It's the fact that for us, we're so event based that there's always an event before the next event and there's always an event after the next event. So it's like, sure, Kind of Funny Live 3 now is right on top of it, but I have a work trip next week and a work trip after that, and then it's Kind of Funny Live, and then it's E3, and then it's Comic-Con, and then it's you know what I mean? Like, there's all these different little things that get
Kevin's
in the way.
bachelor party's in there too.
Somewhere in there, yeah. Yeah, Kev Dog.
Oh, that email's going out real soon, Kev. Real soon. Tim's already seen the preview video for it.
There's a video?
There's a trailer. It's great.
Wait, it's a trailer for what?
Your bachelor party.
Oh my
What?
God.
It's fucking good. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But it's that thing of like
feedback,
I always
by the way,
make the
on
joke of that like I get to look a day in advance. So when somebody hits me, I'm like, hey, what about next? I'm like, I don't know. I can't give that brain capacity
That
right
drives
now.
people crazy.
Exactly, because other people aren't like
They
that.
don't like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just like, oh my God. Gia's gotten used to it. But like when we have to plan things with her friends or even my friends, it's a disaster. Because you're telling me Tim doesn't know what he's doing in 2 weeks. So he can't tell me if he's, I'm like, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like there'll be so many times we're traveling and it's like, you mean you can't tell me what hotel you guys are staying at? I'm like, I have no idea what. I know there is a hotel.
Yeah.
That was
I
a
know
story.
We know there's a roof.
Yeah, that was a story of my life trying to plan family and friends to activities because my job was also super event driven. So I'm happy we know that life pace and structure. Like I know you're not gonna know what you're gonna do in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna get back in there eventually.
Well, that was why
as
this thing was such a weird wrench in the works of like, all right, cool. Like, okay, we got down to like, it's going to be a month turnaround time on these letters from the government. Okay, fine. And then when that got approved and it got passed off, then you have to do this interview. And I was like, okay, well, how do we schedule an interview? You figure out how to schedule the interview where Jen's got to go to the consulate in Montreal, the American embassy, and talk to somebody there. And she does that, but she preps for it for weeks and
I have binders.
She's these giant binders of every factoid about me, every factoid about our relationship. She's got plane tickets. She's got birth certificates. She's got everything. And I'm like, this is awesome. I bet you're over preparing for this. She's like, we got to do it. I'm like, I understand. And so she goes in there. And when you go in there, they take your passport. They take your passport. And if you're approved, they'll send it back with a visa in it. When you get the visa, you have 90 days to come to the United States on a one-way ticket. Get married in those 90 days, and then file for adjustment of status of becoming a legal resident. Right now, Jen's here. She cannot go home.
I can, but I can't come back here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was that you couldn't go home, period, without us filing for early parole is what they call it.
Yeah. I mean, I can leave.
Yeah.
It's coming back. That's the problem.
Okay.
Because
That's
my
where early parole
visa
comes in?
was worth, because my visa is good for only one entry.
Okay.
So once I spend that entry, I can come back on a visitor visa, but we have to start all over again.
And that's the thing where there's all these red tape and all these different rules and all this. And she goes in to get the interview. They ask her one question.
What was the question?
How'd you guys meet? And then I'm like, this is such a cool
It's like,
story.
well, let me go into the future. I'll show you this podcast.
Video.
And then she goes like, I start getting excited and getting into the story. And she's like, all right, it's fine. You go. It's okay. Like,
And then it was like, all right, you'll get your passport back in what? It was like 7 to 10 business days or something?
Yeah. And then I look at her and I'm like, so it's approved. And she's like, you're going to get your passport in 7 to 10 days. And I'm like, so you're saying that I'm good? And she's like, you'll get your passport back. And I'm like, why won't you tell me if it's fine or not? And so I waited 7 to 10 days.
Because she probably doesn't
Wasn't
know.
it one day?
It took 4 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you could track it online, which I refreshed like a crazy person.
God, America. God bless our bureaucracies.
Honestly, though, the thing I really enjoyed about this entire immigration process is how you can track and file stuff online.
That's
Canada,
actually awesome.
It's all paper-based.
Well, no, wait until you have to talk to the IRS. That's always fun.
I'm so excited to go to the DMV, you guys.
Oh, God, don't be.
People spend days there, like Disneyland.
You have not seen real America until you've spent an entire afternoon in the DMV.
I mean, I'm taking this with an open heart. You know, people go there.
Wait, do you have to
excited.
get a driver's license here? Is
yes.
that what you're doing? Wait to put a
sound
camera on you for this
excited.
one. Because it's the worst. Actually, they've gotten better about it. But you bring something to read for sure.
Okay.
And depending on when you go, and depending on which DMV you go to, like I would do some research and be like, which one is the least popular DMV? Because I had to go to that DMV one time, the one over in Hayes.
Yeah.
And it took a very, very long time.
Oh no.
Yeah, I had to get my license renewed. I think I got my motorcycle license there and my license renewed at the same time. And it was, but I'm one of those weird people, and I'll admit this, I enjoy getting someplace, being on time, and waiting. Like I will be like, how long? 2 hours? No problem. I can do 3 right now if I have to. I will just sit with a book. Oh, I'm back.
You would be so good in the Canadian healthcare system. You would wait like 8 hours in the ER.
Oh, that'd be great because I don't even go to the doctor.
But they never
most
tell
of the
you
time.
how long it's gonna take.
Oh, welcome to America.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you go to the ER in America, they'll be like this. Yeah, we'll get you at some point, and also you're not getting out of here for less than $500.
Oh wow.
Absolutely not. It's not happening.
I wanted to get a bike.
Yeah.
I won't.
A bicycle?
Yeah.
Wait till you have
Because
healthcare.
I'm so
Let's get
accident
healthcare.
prone that if I do get a bicycle, I'm gonna hurt myself or die.
We have relatively good healthcare now, but
Okay.
yeah, but like it's still emergency room visits are always like I think I went to the urgent care. when I got my finger smashed and I went to a fancy urgent care in my neighborhood. My wife was like, "You should definitely go to the urgent care. Your hand looks my fucking thumb was like twice the size it was supposed to be." And I was like, "I think it's fine." And she's like, "Yeah, just go get an X-ray on it." The X-ray itself was $300.
Oh God.
And then the visit was $300, something like that. And I was like, "Never again." I was like,
messed
"How
up,
dare
man.
you?"
I feel like Cool Greg and Kevin could give you.
Yeah, I get you an
X-rays.
X-ray for $75. $65
Yeah.
if you go on the right day.
I mean, I don't believe you. I should have called Kevin. She's like, "Kevin, can you sneak me into whatever hospital?"
my God.
They have hookups, so like Best Buy and hospitals.
It's just in like a business building. It doesn't even look like it's not a hospital.
Well, the thing is, I thought my insurance would cover some of this, but it did not.
Oh, that's
I guess you have to be careful.
I
where
think
you
I'm
go.
covered by my Canadian healthcare for the next 170 days.
Oh, you're fine then.
Because there's only, if you're outside of the country, you lose access to healthcare after 6 months outside of the country.
Makes
So
sense. You're
it's
not paying
been
taxes.
2 weeks. It must not.
Clock's
fuck up.
ticking. Clock
Don't die.
is ticking.
Better not pull. Yeah, don't. I was gonna make a bad joke about pulling the goalie. I'll just go into it. Don't pull the goalie anytime soon.
Pull the goalie.
He's saying don't go off birth control and try to get
Oh,
pregnant.
okay.
Oh, I didn't get
anytime
it
soon.
either. But yeah,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah, no.
I've been grinding up a second dose of birth control. Putting it in drinks.
How you feeling? You feeling okay? Feeling all right? Still.
Whoa, what's
still
40
wobbly?
doing? Put it inside her bagel.
My boobs have been getting bigger. That's why.
Is
It's
that with birth
hormones.
control?
I don't know.
I thought it's the
chicken
other.
wing sauce.
I think it clears up your skin. If I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
semen.
What?
No, that's good protein. That's what you have to put, that's what you have to start putting in our morning shakes.
Jesus Christ.
A little squid-acho of that in the
Nope,
morning, and
nope,
some
nope.
raspberries and some strawberries.
No. Let's move on.
Build some triceps that way. You know what I mean? I didn't get these things by not sucking dick.
if you didn't know,
If you didn't know, this has been the Game Over Greggy Show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table.
Oh, God, I missed
God
it.
damn it.
I was so
you
ready.
were ready, but like too ready. Like,
It's like, wait. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can toss us a couple of bucks and get each and every episode early, along with a bunch of exclusives, goods, perks and goodies. I got the exclusive goods is what I said. Didn't make much sense. Remember, Kinda Funny Live 3 is right around the corner. kindafunny.com/KFL3. Get your tickets. Come. I assure you it will be worth the dollars you spend on it. Remember, if you spend no dollars on Patreon, no big deal. You can head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we put the show up topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big MP3 and video. Genevieve St. Onge Miller. Not hyphenated. Middle name. Thank you for coming by.
No problem.
I love you.
I love you too.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
I love you, Nick.
Thanks for watching this episode of Game Over Greggy. Sorry it was all about me and Jen. Subscribe here. Support us on Patreon there. Go watch other videos over here. And then there's always this mystery link that I forget what it does. What does it do?
I don't know.
Click on the mystery link. Where is it going to take you?
Oh, games. Kind of games.
Go to Kinda Funny Games. That's a good channel too. Subscribe to that.